Let's go.
Hey, what's going on? It's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. We're live, bro. How are you?
Ah, yes. Alfred, don't like this. Why you say like this? You know it's live when they are late. Excuse me? We are making our entrance fashionably late.
No. We want to ensure there's no technical issues. We want to make sure it's a smooth, seamless experience for you guys. We are like essentially WWE on Netflix lah. If it's late, means it's still okay.
Bro, they've never been late, I don't think. If they say 12 o'clock, they mean 12 o'clock. If they say 3 a.m., means 3 a.m. lah.
Holy
Let's give
shit,
them all the
3 a.m.
credit.
I do not miss 3 a.m. waking up for wrestling, bro. But
But it's okay, like I really feel it's okay, especially when they do the European shows, right? I don't really ever truly watch Netflix Raw live or SmackDown or NXT because, for us, it's in the morning. Like a lot of us have to work, right?
Yep. It's very interesting because it now reflects our Netflix habits. We do not watch Netflix on appointment viewing at this time as watch, right?
No.
But we will still enough time to kind of like see at our own time and then make our own assumptions as well.
It's way better than before when we had to go and look for StarHub or look for alternative methods to watch
wrestling.
It's much better where we are right now. But of course, still appointment viewing are the PLEs, right?
Yes, correct. And here's the thing, right, guys? We have also reflected the Netflix habits in our streaming schedule, bro. We also at the start of this season we said we will go live when it's near PLE time, when we want to review or preview the big ones, and we want to live up to that promise. Thanks to you guys who are always watching every single week on our pre-recorded podcasts. But today we will address all of you, like people like Alfred. Thanks for being here, bro. Appreciate it.
Zayden, what's up? Zayden says, live? Yes!
Live.
Live. I don't know, I've been so busy, I'm a bit dead lah. But, as far as live on YouTube, yes, we are right now.
We are alive. Yes, we are alive. And it's been a while. I've also just kind of like finally settled down from all my Hari Raya celebrations as well. It's a good time to kind of catch up with you. And bro, can we all agree that this build to WrestleMania has been too long?
Oh,
let's talk about that.
Wait, hang on. So I've heard the complaints, people talking about, because they went on their European tour, all of a sudden the build to WrestleMania is an extra 3-4 weeks, right?
Yeah, correct. Additional 3 weeks, I believe. Yeah.
3 weeks, yeah. You know what? I am actually very okay with it. I do not feel like it's been too long. It's given other feuds to sort of percolate, to simmer a little bit. Because I tell you what, if not for these extra 3 weeks, we wouldn't have gotten a little bit more layering to... Albeit shitty feuds, let's be real, like Tiffany, Charlotte,
No, here's a good devil's advocate to support your point, right? I feel like those feuds that we thought was going to be dead on arrival, and for a couple of weeks, it kind of went there.
Yes.
And they finally managed to course correct because of those extra weeks. I agree on that.
Like, you can tell their priorities. Obviously, main event feuds first. Cena, Cody, let's set that in motion, because at the end of the day, you don't really need that much to build. The hype is already there for Cody and Cena. It does seem like sometimes I'm like, very little Cena. Like, there's no build to this like that beyond the first,
3 weeks.
First 3 weeks where John Cena dismembered Cody first, and then the promos and stuff. After that, he kind of like disappeared, right? But then I reflected on. I'm like, but they're doing this on purpose because they have to work with Cena's filming schedule, obviously, right?
Yes, that's true.
And it's not diminishing my desire to watch this match one bit. Like, I still want to watch that damn main event, right?
Yeah. And it also gives people time to speculate wildly. So this is one of my favorite things about WrestleMania season.
Yes.
People have so many ideas and theories about like the finish, who should win, who should lose, why it works both ways. And I think it just leads to a point where we just can't wait for WrestleMania. And now we are here. I think everyone's getting really, really excited as well, right?
Bro, we, the internet wrestling community, are just being petulant little children. I want my candy now! But when it finally happens, we're all gonna be enthralled. And for the first time, I'm gonna give a spoiler right now, right? Because we're supposed to do a preview, and usually we'll be like, okay, what do you think is gonna happen? I don't even want to guess the winner of Cody and Cena. This year, I'm going to say, I don't want to guess because I want to be taken on that ride. The story that they've crafted And of course, a lot of it has to go to the fact that John Cena is turning heel the first time in 20 years, right? So that in itself is a momentous event. I mean, for God's sakes, they made me spend money on this, okay? John Cena turning heel. By the way,
hey, bro.
one of these is yours, huh?
I've heard somebody actually have won it or gotten it, right? I think Tops announced it. I saw that news,
Yes,
right?
it was in the US or something. Somebody's claim on Reddit that they pulled it out of a pack. I saw it, I'm like, nah, that dude only bought 5 cards, bro. 5. I brought 20. Oh, upset.
Wait. So who needs to explain more about his 11K card collection, bro? Like, what is going on over there,
Hold
bro?
on. Who's got 11K card collection for wrestling card or what?
No, I think for Pokemon, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, Pokemon.
Please correct or fact check us, who's. But yes, I believe he actually throw it down there on the comments that he wants to purchase it from you, Mr. Young. So I'll let you do all the dealings on Patreon, okay?
We wheeling and we dealing, baby. But it's all good. They're all kept very nicely, protected and stuff like that. There's not going to be a coffee stain on it. Let's
hope so. Can we give a bit more shout outs because I haven't talked to you guys in so long. Shout out to Div, nice to see you. Hey yo. Garrett liked. I hope Cena versus Cody will be a great match. I'm pretty sure it will be a great match. I don't think that's in doubt, but a lot of people are caring more about what's the story that's going to be told.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what it is, right? It's cinema at this point. They could have the shittiest match of all time at this point. Nobody would really bat an eyelid. It's kind of like Rock Hogan. Like nobody talks about the match. Everyone talks about the moment.
Yeah. People always keep saying what or not. If you watch the match with the volume turned down, it's like,
because it's not a good match.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm there for the moment. I'm there for the stare down.
Yes.
I'm there for Cena becoming Winter Soldier. And right, bro? I know this fella has been very, very quiet, almost missing in action. But suddenly over the weekend, he popped up wearing a very interesting shirt. Do you see this, bro?
Oh, you talking about the final boss, is it?
Yes, the final boss. Yeah.
Yes.
Here's the thing, right? Bro loves speculation as well. I'm sure he like to start random people going crazy. Yeah. Do you think there's more to it than just he's just randomly wearing a shirt that he likes?
Okay. To be fair, yes, he does understand, stirring the rumor mill, right? But I don't think he's that in touch and spends that much time in it. It's probably people in his ear telling him, I think, oh yeah, this will be cool. I don't think he would have worn that shirt if there wasn't some form of discussion happening. Of course, we're talking about him wearing the New Japan shirt, right?
Correct. And very interesting timing. Okay, all my New Japan experts in the chat, I know who you guys are. Over the weekend, there was a New Japan event, which was apparently Tanahashi's final match in America. I think he lost to Takeshita.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of the New Japan event itself. So that happened around the exact same time The Rock posted about New Japan, right? Wearing his shirt. So now, wild speculation, the internet goes crazy with these kind of stories. They're saying, could it be a possibility in the final year of John Cena's run in WWE? Could they finally do that dream match that people have been talking about? Because the comparison, right, for New Japan is Tanahashi has always been the John Cena of New Japan.
Yes.
Is it possible in the wildest dream that this could potentially happen? Just like a one-off, one night in Japan kind of thing.
One night in Japan. You know what? I don't even doubt that if The Rock went and met with the heads of New Japan and they're like, yeah, let's make a deal. Let's do something. Let's do a Forbidden Door and actually make it work.
And Tanahashi is that guy, bro. When you say meet the people from New Japan, it's meet Tanahashi.
Yeah, he's the guy, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild if that happens. And I'm not sure what's going on with the AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door partnership. It's still a thing, right?
Yes, it is. Right? But you know that the current narrative is that basically AEW Tony Khan has just stripped New Japan of all its talent, signed them over, and not built them to anything bigger than they were already. If anything, they've diminished them, right?
I mean,
the partnership has been nothing but bad for New Japan.
Everyone that I've talked to who is a New Japan fan, who's an OG New Japan fan, that means who really watched all those Okada, Kenny Omega matches.
Yep.
No matter how much they are supporters of those wrestlers,
yep,
none of them said that they are better used in AEW.
Because even
if they are partial to AEW or they want to support AEW, right? All of them can agree one shot they have not been booked as well as they have lost all their New Japan aura.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, Kenny Omega come back for a one-off match in New Japan, his aura came back.
Yeah, and then after that, gone already. Okay, well, that's arguable, but yeah. So definitely fueling rumors. If The Rock wanted it to happen, it will happen lah. Let's just put it that way. I think he's
Correct.
powerful enough. You know, with TKO's backing and him being an international superstar. If they wanted to do a one-off match, though, knowing them, I mean, just do a freaking WWE Forbidden Door with New Japan. It
Yeah,
will
it'll
break
be
the
so cool.
internet. It would
It will.
legit break the internet.
Bro, one shot of Tanahashi appearing ringside at WrestleMania, enough to
That's it. Bro, and then Tony Khan, like what Alfred said, Tony Khan will be crying with his millions. No! What's going on?
That's wild, bro.
Oh.
Okay, I know we kind of sidetracked, but the point I was trying to make is,
Yeah.
you know, if nothing else, The Rock better show his dumb ass in WrestleMania after like completely MIAing since Elimination Chamber, bro.
As long as he don't freaking drink before going out to cut
Yeah.
promo, okay already.
Yeah, he needs to be there, and somebody needs to get his ass handed to him because of a receipt. I
Right.
wish Travis Scott needs to be there as well.
Oh, yes, 100%. Huh?
Yeah.
Zayden says, speaking of New Japan, Zack Sabre Jr. is coming to SPW. That's right, the new SPW event. Is it Mayhem, right?
Yeah. I think SPW Mayhem, correct. So it's happening
Yes.
end of May. Bro, that's a big gap. I think this is the
Yeah.
biggest star that has come to Singapore since Kenny Omega, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes, correct.
Big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah. So
Huge.
congrats to SPW. That's a great catch. Can't wait to see that, Brad. For sure.
Can't wait. Okay, so there you go. There's some of the sort of odds and ends as far as the wrestling news cycle is concerned. Before we get into the WrestleMania weekend,
Yep.
before we even get to just a bit about the current state of AEW, because I caught the highlights.
Here
or
we
lowlights,
go.
I suppose.
Oh no,
of what went down at Dynasty, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have been obsessed, but I have been obsessed with this entire this season of America and the tariff war, the trade war, whatever you want to call it, right? Have you seen what has happened on TikTok?
Bro, for some wild second, I thought you said I have been obsessed with what's going on in AEW. I was like, whoa, what? Okay.
No, bro. This trade war stuff is more exciting than in AEW.
Yeah. Okay. Give me the Cliff Notes version. I know what's happening with the terrorists. I know they are slapping tariffs left, right, front, and center to each other. China
Yeah.
and
And
America.
of course, the big argument is that you slap tariffs on other countries, it actually hurts the Americans because the people who are importing, the small
Exactly.
businesses that are importing, they are the ones who have to foot the bill for the tariffs, right? This benefits nobody but the administration. And then the administration also like, oh my God. Like, to be honest, for the most part, right, I've always been like, okay, I don't support Trump. I don't hate. You know how people can hate Trump and some people can be really diehard MAGA supporters, right?
Yep. I get what
For
you mean.
me, I've always been like, let's just sit on the sidelines, try to be objective about it. Biden is too old. Yeah, he's definitely too old. Blah blah blah. Like I haven't been truly like on one side or the other. I don't know if you felt the sentiment shift away from the good old USA. Like right now, essentially the rest of the world is like, what the you doing?
Yeah, exactly. And thanks to you, Mr. Young,
Yeah.
because you have got me on the I Show Speed rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that the government is doing like all this nonsense, right? And the one that is kind of achieving diplomacy between the two
Yes.
countries is I Show Speed.
No, and it's a very weird confluence of events. And of
Yeah.
course, conspiracy theories will say conspiracy. Yeah. But if you look at the timeline, like, oh my God, here we go. Kick to the current affairs. Let's do
Oh
it.
my God, Edison, thanks for
Yes.
coming out with that.
Right. If you think about the timeline, first you had the TikTok ban, right?
Yeah.
And then you had a huge number of youths. Let's face it, a lot of people on TikTok, actually not really, they are middle-aged people on TikTok migrating to Red Note. Do you remember this?
Correct, little red now, yeah.
Xiaohongshu. And then that's why they found out, hey, China is not some farming country. They are skyscrapers. They're doing economically very well for themselves, right?
Yeah,
It's not the
Chongqing,
third
wow.
world. It's not the third world country that Trump and the US have been propagandizing for the past decade, right?
Yep.
And then there was Red Note, and then of course they backed off on the TikTok ban. And then I Show Speed going over and showing the world. Literally, I'm walking around the streets of China, and it's not what people have said it was. And then now, oh my God, this next chapter. Then you got Trump slapping on the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, right? You got JD Vance calling Chinese peasants, whatever, right? It's really turned the narrative the other way. And what is crazy right now on TikTok? All the manufacturers are going direct. This is crazy. So
Okay.
this is something we all know. Everything we have is made in China. Let's be real. Right? Like
Yeah.
80%, probably 90% of the shit we all wear and own is from China in some form or
Bro,
fashion.
you think this smartphone is from America, bro?
Yeah.
The parts are from China, bro. Come on. What's
Bro,
going on?
China has the manufacturing because in the past 30 years, they've built up that manufacturing base and skills and knowledge. And then there Trump is going, oh, we can build that in 5 years, please. Relax, bro. Relax. You're not building iPhones in the US anytime soon, but they already
Yeah.
backed off on electronics. The crazy thing, though, is everything else. Luxury goods, little knickknacks, clothing, right? Now, if you go on TikTok, there is this wave of all these manufacturing plants from China talking directly to consumers.
Ah.
So this is like the craziest turn in the trade war. Just go on TikTok, you will see it. So essentially, you can buy like a T-shirt for $2, and they are and these
Yeah.
are brand, like, you know, and this is something we all kind of knew already.
You don't need to go to like freaking Amazon and go through like the third party, right? Like the go-between guy. Just go directly to the factories and say, I want to buy
Yes.
directly from a factory outlet,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, before then you had to go through, like, let's say for example, oh, is my mic soft? Is the only thing that's soft. LOL.
What?
Okay,
What?
okay. I
Yeah,
jack my mic up a little bit. I scared. I didn't want to drown other people out.
I
didn't want
see.
to drown
So
Foreign out.
if Mr. Young is soft, is foreign loud? You know what I mean? Am I loud?
Soft, SAWFT. So anyway,
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to my
go.
point. The
Yes.
whole cycle is that, like, let's say you have Lululemon. Oh, this is the big example, right? Because these factories are literally producing for Lululemon. But if you take out the Lululemon label, they sell it to you for $2, $5.
Oh my god.
And you know, one Lululemon yoga pants costs like what? $50, right?
You know what happens now, right? Because of this?
yeah.
All these big brands and businesses are going to collapse on itself.
Correct. And all these
You're right.
American brands. So these Chinese manufacturers is like, and I guarantee you, it's probably the government going, all right, you guys go ahead. Fuck it. We don't care. They want a war, we'll show them some shit.
And you know what's the craziest thing? And I've always had this discussion with my friends as well, my loved ones. I am not a slave of consumerism. I know myself, right? I will not buy something just because it's the brand says it. You know what I mean? So, for example, I love The Rock, right? I will never, no offense, buy any of his Under Armour shit.
Yeah.
Because the prices are ridiculous. And the only reason why it's ridiculous is because it's got The Rock's face and got the brand.
Correct.
I can buy the exact same thing without the brands. It will cost, like you said, probably like a couple of bucks. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think this will hit consumerism and capitalism really, really hard. People who care about brand association, all that kind of stuff, those brands will lose their aura straight away.
Oh, yeah. So all the luxury bags, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, kana F now. No, these these folks, these manufacturers, they're like, yeah, we use the same materials. We literally do it for the brand. It's just, if I take out the label, I can sell it to you for like a quarter of the price, a tenth of the price even.
I see. Okay, guys,
And
here's
and
the
this
plan,
is where
guys.
the crowd chants, you effed up. You effed. Yeah. So I'm like, oh my, and watching this unfold. And like I said, you know, at the end of the day, I really only care. I don't care about who wins or loses in that. Like, you know how some people are diehards, right? They're like, oh, I must have a USA win, or the rest of the world needs to win, or China must win. I'm just watching this going, holy shit, they really effed up. They being the Trump administration.
I tell you, bro, America's gonna lose this, and they're gonna lose their people. Like they're just gonna screw themselves. The rest of the world is just gonna, okay, you go one corner, sort your problem.
Yeah.
We will just live our life, and then, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
this is
they-
exactly plays to what China wants to do as well.
Yes, they've lost the hearts. That's what they had. The image that America is this big
Soft
savior
power,
of the world. And they
Yeah.
are slowly, with this administration, losing that. The only one thing right now that the US has that is better than anywhere else in the world, you know what that is, right?
Their military, right?
No.
Oh,
I mean, that's a whole other different topic.
okay, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What?
Entertainment, bro. Hollywood. What we love, pro wrestling. It's a very
Correct.
Americana product. That's the only thing that so far they export the most of.
Bro, don't be surprised, bro, if wrestling is gonna be the key to diplomacy
Oh
for
my
America. America, the only way they can repair their image is to put on great WrestleMania matches for free. No, not free.
No.
Around the world.
Yeah. No, it's a reminder that, yes, this great Americana experience can only be found in the US. So that's, yes, what they do have going for them. Entertainment. They are the
Correct.
entertainment capital of the world, right? But slowly but surely, you know, if all these Korean dramas start picking up steam. Anime is already huge around the world. Chinese anime and dramas are picking up a lot of steam as well. I mean, man, the next 50 years is going to be interesting times, my friend.
Bro, we all will be bilingual, bro. By the end of the century, all of us will be like, be able to understand all these different languages by then.
Here's a deep cut, and I'm going to quote a Hall of Famer, or soon to be Hall of Famer. That's not the only thing that I'm by about.
Oh my
God. Do you remember that line?
Oh my god. Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Oh,
there you
wait, can we just quickly say, Edison say, forget the Montreal screw job. This is the Washington DC screw job. Taking it back to wrestling, guys. I love it.
Well, in a way, do you feel like it's because American politics has become so much like pro wrestling? Because that's the problem. They shouldn't be taking advice from wrestling because wrestling is fiction. It's not world politics.
And that's why a speech like what our PM Lawrence Wong did went viral, right? Because you need our leaders to be level-headed, people who actually understand policy and debate. Leave the wrestling to the wrestlers, bro.
Yes, leave the make-believe to the entertainers. See, that's the problem. I think the Trump administration, because when you have a leader that's so, I mean, dude was literally at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
In a heavy hair match, right? Like if you have somebody like that, of course, all your like underlings, your VP, your press secretary are going to be like that as well. And they've all like I've seen nothing but clips of them just being rude and I'm like, this is not wrestling. Like, what happened to the days of a distinguished gentleman like Barack Obama talking to the world and everyone looking up to him? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the worst thing about autocracy is that people, remember last time America always talk, all this nonsense with North Korea and say like, you're ruled by a dictator. Have you seen the video footage of the round table where every one of Trump's underlings are just spending like minutes praising him?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Like, that looks like a scene right out of The Dictator, bro.
Bro, USA Hilton 2020. Actually, not really. Oh my God. USA is John Cena. John Cena is literally the living embodiment of America.
Yeah, so just like John Cena, USA has turned heel, and the world is supporting what? So Cody Rhodes is China. I thought Cody Rhodes is a Cody Raheem Rhodes, bro.
Raheem Rhodes. Yeah, he's there for the culture, bro.
he is the first black champion we had in a long time. So it makes a lot of sense, like. It makes a lot of sense.
So this whole thing, the backfiring of so many things in terms of this administration has just been incredible to watch.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, right? We are all, to a certain extent selfish, right? We only care about our own self-interest. And I'm just being very upfront, right? So to me, the only thing that I was worried about, I don't know whether you guys agree, was all about if all my Apple products, is it going to like be skyrocketed or like it's going to be an issue, right? So the fact that Trump has kind of said that there will be exceptions to electronics and consumer goods, I'm good. It's like, okay, whatever it is. Oh my God, is it Chelsea?
Yes, Chelsea. Div said Doggo. So here's Doggo. Here's Chelsea.
Hello.
Listening to us talk about Trump. But here's the thing, bro. I already jumped ship. I already moved off of Apple. You know this.
I know. You told me about it, bro. Everything over, right?
I see the signs, bro. I've seen the signs for a while already.
How's it been? How's the Android life so far?
It's great. It's awesome.
All right.
I don't miss anything about Apple, lah. That's the thing.
Yeah. You don't have any Apple products that you use right now, right?
I still do, lah. I have an iPad that I use as like, a spare monitor.
Okay. But you know what? Like, I think it's been very interesting to watch because as like politics and all these things kind of like affect us to a certain extent, I wonder how it will affect our viewing habits as well. How it seeps into entertainment, right? Because right now, I'm sure wrestling is doing a lot of great things to kind of like reach out to the world, right? We are becoming more globalized, what WWE is doing. But do you think there will be a case down the road where they want to revert back to how Vince McMahon used to do WWE, where it's all about I'm American patriot, promoting Americana, or have we completely turned the page like, no, we have to be very globalized because WWE is a global brand?
They are a global brand, especially with TKO. They're not so stupid. Like they are going to learn from what the UFC has done. I think they are smart enough to realize that yes, America is our home base, a huge market, but the world is a bigger market.
Exactly. And for those of you who are following WWE news, they are going to hold their first PLE in India, I believe, this year, right?
Yes,
and
correct.
We've seen all those outreach photos that Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio has done. Incredible stuff. Bro, if they can't conquer the China market yet, maybe that will take some more time.
Yeah.
I tell you, they conquer Indian market is really huge, really, bro.
No, I don't think in this climate they are never going to conquer the China market. That much is for sure. They've tried, and to this point, they haven't been able to do it. And especially now with the, well, pardon the pun, bad blood, lagi even harder.
I think probably they can only conquer all the China adjacent markets.
Yes, like
Japanese
Taiwan,
wrestlers,
Hong Kong,
yeah,
Singapore, Malaysia, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, like if WWE kind of can represent everyone on the world stage, they are a bigger UN than UN at this point in time.
Yeah,
Bro.
that's
It's
true.
wild.
Bro, if this were the Vince McMahon era, if this were the Vince McMahon era, Dante Chen would have been called up to the main event. He'll be the tariff guy. He'll be
My
the
god,
Chinese caricature heel, bro.
He will go to the stage and he's like, "But I'm Singaporean."
Senator, but I'm Singaporean.
Yeah.
I charge
Oh my
you
god,
34% more. Oh no.
bro, is that why Div say that there's a reason why there's El Grande Americano? That's their patriot gimmick right now, bro.
No, I love that Chad Gable whole thing, and we'll talk about that. But dude has a match at WrestleMania. I'm so excited about that.
Congrats to him. Okay, so we will dive into WrestleMania, but we need to address one more thing. We need to clear other things happening in other promotions first, Mr. Young. And a couple of you guys are very, very curious to hear our thoughts, and mostly Mr. Young's thoughts on what happened at the conclusion of AEW Dynasty. So last week we actually went, we released the podcast a day earlier, so we just did a AEW Dynasty preview, right? We didn't do a review because let's be honest, we didn't watch it lah. So, but we saw the ending of Dynasty, and you know what? The whole internet wrestling community had lots of things to say about that ending.
Yeah. Look, I mean, to be honest, there isn't much to say because I'm just not connected to this anymore. It's very hard because again, it's insulting people's intelligence. Like the Young Bucks coming back to say out to beat up Swerve, and now they are auditioning for the Death Riders in a way. Like, what the hell? Aren't you supposed to be for the company? You are the EVPs of the company, and this group is trying to take over the company, so you team with them?
Right?
Right?
That's my reaction.
Like, or are they pretending so that they can turn face by defeating the Death Riders? Is that where it's going? I don't know. Like, none of it leads to a suitable conclusion.
You know what? I'm gonna approach this from a different angle. You know,
Sure.
I mean, usually we start off by shitting on AEW, but I'm gonna approach this with a different angle.
You mean objectively stating facts?
Yes. If
Okay,
I
go
was the booker, if I was AEW, Tony Khan, and I want to hear all your thoughts as well on the chat. Please share your thoughts on how would you fix this mess. But if it was me, right, I will build the company around Swerve. Hard for me to admit this, but I will build a company around Hangman Page.
Sure.
Because I feel like Hangman Page still represents a lot of what AEW is, for better or for worse, but he's part of that new generation. I will build it around Will Ospreay. These three are my main guys, and I will build it around like the women's division, who actually have very good talents as well, but they're not being showcased. So like, for example, Toni Storm is that centerpiece right now. You actually have really good stars around her that needs to be built. And I'd rather they focus on that next generation of like wrestlers. Like Takeshita even, you know?
Yeah.
Like they want to have one token Japanese guy but make it Takeshita. Not freaking Ishii or freaking Shibata. I love Shibata, but a bit old already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have that generation, push them to the forefront. That's what WWE did with Roman Reigns, right? In 2015, they pushed aside all the like all the main players that has been there for a while. Like John Cena started going down the mid-card. And then they started trying to push the future. They have to focus on that because right now, a lot of the, I would say like the starting foundation members of AEW, like those Chris Jericho's, Kenny Omega, they've had their run, right? Yep. Even we had to acknowledge Chris Jericho at this point in time doesn't feel he fits AEW. Like AEW doesn't need Chris Jericho really. He already had done his job on building that legacy for himself and AEW at the beginning. So they need to focus on these people. And the longer they stay on the first generation of AEW wrestlers, aka the Young Bucks, John Moxley, even, and even all these veterans like, you know, Adam Copeland, like they are not supposed to be the main selling point star. They're supposed to be supporting, you know.
They are supposed to be there to prop up the next generation. And this is the problem we saw with WCW, right? And TNA, they only relied on the established stars, never actually building up new stars. And it's the exact same problem. And here's the thing. I agree 100% with everything you said. Bro, we've said this for years.
Years
What
at this point.
what makes us think that anything will change in 2025? The only thing that might force Tony Khan to change is if he loses his TV deal, right? At this
Yes.
point, if money is not an issue, then what is his motivation to change, to do better? There is no motivation. So he just continue doing it. And that's why they're hemorrhaging viewers, they're hemorrhaging people going to events.
Yeah, and I think what will change for him is if he gets blackballed by the rest of the industry.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
sure,
Like if people imagine he trying to sign a wrestler and the wrestler say,
They're
nah,
like, no.
I
No,
don't
but
wanna
see,
do that," you know what I
for
mean?
every one of that, there'll be 5 others who will say, yeah, of course, I want my payday. For every one who rejects, there'll be one Mercedes Monet. Then you'll be like, oh my God, I got such bangs. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it is a perpetual cycle because he has the money. The second the money dries up, that's when we'll see whether these people will be loyal or not.
Correct. And I think again, like the ones who I feel that they should build around have had enough time to be seasoned that they can stand on their own, right? There was a
Yeah.
time where Hangman needed so much support from the elite, all the story with CM Punk, all that nonsense. But now as a character, as this unhinged character in between, for better or
Sure.
for worse, he is
Sure.
his own man already at this point.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he's established, quote unquote. But then
Correct.
some people bring up like, what about your other guys that had so much promise? The problem is the second you start getting into Tony's bad books because you disagree with him, you disappear.
Yeah.
Where is the freaking Sammy Guevara? Right?
He did it in ROH.
Yeah, love him or
Yeah.
hate him, where is Jack Perry?
yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Like they spent all this time, did the whole review, the backstage footage that did nothing, right? Pushed him to be a scapegoat. He said, who got set on fire? I forgot. He set himself on fire, right?
Yeah. Oh
And
my
then-
god, yeah.
And then what is he doing now?
And that's the thing, right? He has the moments where he push people and then they completely disappear off TV, right?
Darby Allin, another fella. We all actually like this guy.
Yeah,
We say he has the Jeff Hardy aura, but then
but for him, he apparently is right now in the middle of climbing and training for Mount Everest. So
oh jeez. Look,
that is established.
see, that's another thing. Like, I don't believe in the Vince McMahon way of saying, oh, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But at some point, you need to tell the talent that you've been paying and investing in, hey, please lah, don't go and do some stupid shit lah. You can't be just, oh, hey, yeah, go. This fella fall off a cliff in Mount Everest, breaks his ankle, can never wrestle again, then how? That's on you, bro. That's on
bro,
you,
not-
Tony.
Not just break ankle. What if he dies, bro?
Yeah. Again, there's a real possibility on Mount Everest, right?
Oh my god,
Oh.
yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, I feel like if AEW like kind of regresses, I still feel that there will be other companies that will step up to
Sure.
be that number 2, right? Whether it's TNA right now, they are doing relatively well, but they do have their issues,
Oh.
or New Japan that is really trying to get back into relevance. And you never know if New Japan circumvents AEW and suddenly have a partnership with WWE.
Yeah.
And they have the history there as well. Oh my god, that can actually bring New Japan back. For there was a period where New Japan was the clear number 2 in the
Yes.
whole wrestling world.
Agree.
So we shall see.
Zayden says he's losing wrestlers left, right, and center. Yes, Malachi is back in WWE, returning at WrestleMania maybe. That's exciting. Miro or
Yeah.
Rusev.
Yeah. And again, the thing is, I've always talked about them actually having too many wrestlers as well. So
Yeah.
I don't hate it. They need to kind of streamline their very bloated roster. It's just that please choose the right people to push. That's what I'm saying.
Lol. Oh, and yes, Swerve cares more about F-bombing Booker. See, as
that
much
one.
as like we talk about how Swerve, we love Swerve, he should be the guy, right? And then he goes out there and does a rookie thing like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, why would you shit on bringing Booker up? See, and I believe I can't remember who was talking about it. Was it Eric Bischoff or was it Jim Cornette? But or one of these OGs, but I agree 100%. You should never bring up a name of another wrestler, even if you're having a real life feud. Don't bring up their name if you're never ever gonna have a payoff of it. You will never make money with Booker is not even in your company.
Yeah. Is Booker T himself who said it? I believe so.
Oh, it's Booker T. Yeah, oh, there you
Yeah.
go. It makes
Yeah.
sense, right? It's like them AEW showing the footage of CM Punk. He's not in your company anymore. You cannot make money from this.
No
Why?
payoff, yeah.
So what essentially you're doing is being petty.
Yeah,
you are
exactly.
just doing things to acting like a child. right?
Oh dear God, yeah. And here's the thing, right? I love Booker T's reaction to it. He actually gave a very measured response. A
Yes.
true veteran's response. His advice to Swerve is that, bro, do not waste your main event time, your TV time calling up, wrestlers. That's not even your company.
Yeah.
Use it, build your feud. Like
Yeah.
there's no payoff to this, right? Like he's not
Right.
even part, right? Like you said. So there's no point unless suddenly Booker T does a one-off appearance. Then yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but we know that it's never going to happen. He's literally working in NXT, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, usually the time after the main event, off camera, you are rah-rahing the crowd. You're making an impression, thanking the crowd for coming down. Oh, we love you, whatever town, blah blah blah, that kind of thing, right?
Exactly,
No,
exactly.
so just go out there and F Booker T for no reason. And I wonder if maybe that's because he knows that crowd it works for that crowd. And it also is an indictment of the people who watch this product.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? AEW has clearly settled into almost exclusive audience,
Club.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, people who are ride or die with the elite, with Tony Khan, what he's doing. And that's great, right? I would say NXT also is almost like a
Yes.
ride or die audience, right? But the thing is, right, you can do that without like trying to sabotage other people. And I know people say that it's a kind of contradictory thing to say because people also shit on AEW while praising WWE, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we also do it as well. But what I'm trying to say is like, if they really have a great product and they believe in their product, focus on it, make it the best that it can be. People will notice them. So people will give their plaudits them. So you do not need to, seek that validation from anywhere else.
Because at the end of the day, like CM Punk said, working with children.
Exactly. Like what
At the
Zayden
end of the day,
says,
yeah, exactly. Zayden said it. Like that's all that is. It really sums up the entire culture in AEW at this point. You have some people trying to make it work. For sure, there are a lot of talents that they're succeeding because of themselves. And okay, so let's just put a bow on the whole Young Bucks thing. It's just even the AEW diehards are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Even the AEW diehards, right?
No, they have been what the fuck with the Death Rider storyline, which is universally panned by everyone.
Okay.
And yeah.
Let me play devil's advocate just for 1 second. I'm going to actually try to maybe ruminate, maybe justify these booking decisions, right? Are they trying to make Jon Moxley and this whole thing so despised? And in a way, then you say that even the AEW fan base hates it, means it's working, ma. It means, heel heat, right? That's okay. I'm trying to argue for them now, right?
Okay, go for it.
So that whoever beats Jon Moxley finally at All In Texas, right? That's their big Wrestlemania, which apparently they moved it to an afternoon show. Is that right? Did I read that right?
I have no idea, but I know it's in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me Google that in a second. But the person who beats them becomes like the biggest ultra babyface in the world. Like, okay, do you buy that sort of booking philosophy, I suppose?
If that's the payoff, I understand what Tony Khan is trying to do. But we still have 2 more pay-per-views in between? Wait, Forbidden Door is pushed back this year. I think it's in August. So we still have Double or Nothing. So what would it like? Would it be like a waste of a main event spot if like we all know like Jon Moxley is not dropping his belt at Double or Nothing? Or are they gonna do like a Anarchy in the arena match so that technically Jon Moxley doesn't have to defend the title? Maybe that's what they're doing, right? The point is, how are they going to hold the audience attention for the next 2-3 months until All In?
So that's the thing. I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, maybe they have a plan. But then, no plan is worth losing audience if that's the payoff. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference with a hated heel holding a title belt. WWE has done it for so long. Roman Reigns, for example, right?
Yep.
He extended title reign so that you want Cody to win. But in between, there are so many interesting developments and storylines. Whereas in this case, it's just the most boring faction, like holding on to the belts and doing stupid shit.
You know what I'm annoyed by the faction the most? If the faction developed the other supporting characters within the faction, right?
Yeah.
It still will be something because that's what made the bloodline work, right?
Yes.
While the bloodline is all about Roman Reigns, but then you saw the rise of Jey Uso, you saw Jimmy Uso, you saw Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Right?
Solo even to a certain extent. Yeah.
Correct. I have not seen anything from Claudio, bro.
Bro, can we just
Fuck.
all agree that even though it's like for some reason we thought Claudio was great, And then it
He
turns
is.
out,
No, he is a great wrestler, and I thought he
Wrestler.
was produced well in WWE, but just wasn't given a chance to like go to the next level.
There's a reason. Now now you have free reign. Apparently they can do whatever they want. Him, Pac, and Wheeler. Oh God.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
just, I don't know.
Let me quickly mention AEW All In is at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So afternoon pay-per-view.
Really, why?
To avoid WWE Saturday Night Main Event XL.
It's the same
WWE
day.
Yes, WWE essentially counter-programmed their big WrestleMania with Saturday night's main event. Ooh!
And
Ooh!
bro, talk about petty. I mean,
Fuck it.
that's hilarious.
But why not? If you
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
why not? Right?
Yeah, this is just WWE bullying AEW, but I love it because
Yeah.
I think the fact that AEW budge on it says a lot, though, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah, for sure.
If I was the AEW owner, I say, okay, this is my schedule. I already booked at this time. I don't care whatever else is on TV at that time. I trust my product enough that it can sell.
He
No,
doesn't.
he doesn't.
He's like, oh fuck, no, shit. Let's make it afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember, there was a time when AEW and NXT was, going head to head.
Yep.
They didn't change themselves, but people were watching more of AEW.
Yes. Well, that was when AEW was still fresh and new, and they had arguably a good product.
Or I would say a new product. I would say
new
it was a good product at that point.
Yeah,
in time.
fresh and new product. Yeah, sure.
Fresh
Let's
and
go
new
with
product.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Very interestingly, a lot of people say that Darby Allin is the savior. So that is if he survives Mount Everest. Another way as well is that they are having the Owen Hart Cup tournament at this point in time. So they already have Will Ospreay calling his shot. So it could also potentially be Will Ospreay. And you do not know whether Swerve Strickland is completely left the title scene. Maybe he could win the title. So I don't know. I just hope to God somebody beats John Moxley, because until then, you know what to expect from AEW. There's nothing from AEW that will be like, wow, I need to watch,
Yeah. Wait, what about FTR turning heel on Edge?
Bro, I actually watched that Collision episode, this
Yeah?
past weekend. Yeah, I actually listened to their explanation for that, right? I didn't hate it. I thought them turning heel made a lot of sense. I think
Sure.
they were using the example of how they actually sacrificed a bit of their tag team career to kind of support Edge in his world title. That all makes sense, right?
Sure.
And I thought it was okay. It was good. But the problem with that was, first of all, it happened in Collision. So clearly, it's not a priority for Tony Khan.
Nope.
Second of all, right, you have had FTR, who was like one of the most beloved tag teams in 2022, 2023 when Punk was around. And then the whole of 2024, right, they did nothing. And then now they're trying to tie it to the fact that because they were supporting Adam Copeland, right?
Yeah.
But I just felt like they need to rebuild themselves. They are not on the level that they were just 2 years ago. It's like the New Day, right? The New Day turned heel, became interesting, but they needed follow-up. So I do not hate it, but I hate what people are predicting is going to happen.
And obviously, it's. I don't say it's obvious, but it makes sense in terms of why I would actually support that is because if you don't watch AEW, but you saw that match on the match card at All In, I would be interested in FTR versus Edge and Christian. That's where you're going, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So now we've slowly seen the hierarchy turn on Christian, right? So does Christian Cage become a babyface again? What's
I
guess,
there?
or it's not so much he becomes a babyface. It's just that we are all shades of grey. They'll make up somehow. I'm sure. You know what? I don't hate the premise, but I hate the build.
It only work. Okay, here's the thing. It will only work if FTR is put over, goes back to relevancy, and goes back to the top. I think that's where they need to be.
That's the good thing about them having a pretty long runway to All In, is that they can now have that time to build. And you know who else needs to become relevant again? Christian.
Christian.
He's been made to look like an absolute chump. He lost the briefcase thing,
Yeah,
remember?
yeah,
looking like a complete jackass.
Yeah.
Like, what has Christian done lately? Also, same idea for Christian in terms of where he is in AEW.
Yeah, I love Christian because I know for a fact, right? If he's given the right material, he's amazing, right? I mean, his father gimmick was amazing. I don't hate like the potential of Christian going back to relevancy. He can go back to relevancy anytime. That's how much I trust him, because he has been one of the better things in AEW, right? Despite
Yeah.
all the dredge.
But can they book him consistently enough? That's the big question. And,
Exactly.
you know, like Edge comes back, and I can literally see this playing out. Edge comes back, confronts FTR. FTR like, oh, we challenge you. Oh, you don't have a partner. It's 2-on-1. Then finally, like Christian Cage shows up. You know, like I can see it all play out, and
Yep.
it will make for very interesting television. But
Yep.
it's man, you're right. We have to make FTR mean something. We have to make Christian Cage mean something. Edge is already there, so he's
Correct,
fine.
correct. All these people, right, are good talents in AEW, right?
Oh, yeah.
These are people that actually we want them to be well, represented, have ample TV time. You know, okay, let me praise one thing about what AEW is doing that actually has me intrigued, right?
Okay.
The whole Nation of Domination situation that we are having with
Bah.
MJF and the
Yeah.
Hurt Business, right? The Hurt Syndicate, right?
Very quickly, Irvin. Yes, we are live. Let's go.
Yeah, we are live, bro, because it's WrestleMania week, bro. We got to preview WrestleMania. We haven't even started yet. We've been talking about politics and AEW. So let's finish up with
goodness.
this first.
Yeah.
MJF and Hurt Syndicate has been the only thing that I've been consistently watching highlights of, trying to see where they're going with it. And I like this whole situation where, essentially, right, it's like the whole, remember when MJF was trying to buddy with Adam Cole and the United Undisputed Kingdom, apparently called the Paragon now.
Okay, who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that. They should call themselves Ion, for all I care. The point is, right, when he did it with that, right, that felt like, oh, okay, MJF being a manipulative, smarmy, you know,
Yeah.
like trying to get one over Adam Cole and can manipulate him in that way. He has no way he can manipulate like Bobby Lashley, right?
Yeah. He feels
You
like
know?
the beta in this
This whole
setup.
situation, right?
Yeah,
So either way, right, if he wins over the Hurt Syndicate and becomes their Owen Hart, or he becomes like the Sami Zayn, right? So
Yeah.
somebody gave a very good example. This is more like Sami Zayn than Owen Hart, because Sami Zayn was like really had to earn his trust into the bloodline.
Yeah.
So if he does that, that's great. If this leads to a feud between Bobby Lashley and MJF gets destroyed, I would love that as well,
Yep,
right?
yep.
If this leads to a potential face turn for Bobby Lashley because MVP screws over his team members and aligns as the Paul Heyman manager for MJF, also great. So I don't see any situation where this might suck. Unless Tony Khan surprises me lah.
Yeah. What if they feud with the Death Riders?
Even if they feud with the Death Riders, here's the thing, right, bro? I don't think MVP, Bobby Lashley, with people with their pool, would let themselves get won over by the Death Riders, right? The Death,
Correct.
it's like, for example, like compare him with Brock Lesnar. You think Brock Lesnar will like, if John Moxley, the same John Moxley that asked him to do all this crazy shit, he'll just say, nah. You know what I mean?
That don't work for me, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not afraid of that. So I tell you what, I would welcome, bro, Hurt Syndicate versus Death Riders at Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing. I would watch that.
And finally put an end to the Death Riders.
Potentially, or put a huge dent, which also will lead to blood and guts. And here's one thing I love about the Hurt Syndicate's presentation on AEW right now. If you have been seeing the clips, right, they have been presenting Shelton Benjamin as Bobby Lashley's equal, not his underling.
Yes.
So Shelton Benjamin has been looked like a beast in AEW right now.
It's not hard.
Yeah, it's not hard. He just needs the
looks. No, he just needs to stand next to 80% of the roster. He already looks like a beast.
Actually, Bobby Lashley and Shelton just stand in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by everyone, surrounded by Adam Cole, all right. They're like,
Everybody look like tiny little kids.
Exactly. So I like that, man. And you know what? Push this tag team or this faction to the moon in it. Make them the main event. I would rather them have all the main event time that Death Riders is having right now.
Bro, the fact that we are saying all this means Tony Khan will do the exact opposite. You know that's gonna be the case.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? But this is what we want to see. So for those of you who think like, oh, we just want to shit on AEW, no, we want AEW to do better, and we are giving very constructive ways how we think they can do better or who they should be pushing so that they have a better product.
Yes. Till then, let's just enjoy the wrestling that we have this weekend. And my God, we have a frick ton of wrestling to watch this weekend. So let's jump into it, okay?
Yeah.
I know I want to do it quickly because we don't want to be here for 5 hours. But very quickly, let's talk about the Hall of Fame. This year's Hall of Fame inductees. Ivan Koloff is actually going to be part of the Legacy Hall of Fame.
Interesting.
Dory Funk Sr., as well as James Harris, who we all know as... Pop quiz, James Harris. Hang on.
My brain just went down.
Oh,
Come on,
chat. James Harris, hang on. Give chat
Okay.
10 seconds. Chat, who is James Harris? He's going into the Hall of Fame in the Legacy Wing. Hang on.
My encyclopedia brain just ping.
Bro, I'm amazed that you figured it out because I would not have figured it out. Okay, on the count of 3, we don't say his name, but he do his action.
Okay, Ken, let's do
You
that.
know, huh?
Yeah, I know the action.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Yes. The Ugandan, was he the Ugandan giant?
Ugandan giant, yeah.
Kamala.
Kamala, I love Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
I love Kamala.
Wrong Kamala, bro. Wrong Kamala.
Wrong Kamala,
Yes.
not Kamala Khan as well, sorry.
No, Kamala as in the Ugandan giant back in the day.
You know what?
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that he's in the Legacy and not a standalone Hall of Fame. Yeah.
He was a huge part of my childhood in
Yeah.
the 80s. He was always like that bad guy, right? And then at one point he became like a face. Like he was like very poor thing face.
Wasn't he feuding with like Undertaker, Papa Shango? Like he was in that whole feud, right?
That quote unquote mystical universe. Then he'll get super scared of Undertaker.
Yeah. Ultimate Warrior with the goo. I have images of what, and there was a period in the 2000s where he always called back as like a legend. It was always him, Roddy Piper, Snuka. I mean, of course, he predates my time, but his face is so iconic, like his whole presentation, right? I just thought that he would have deserved like a standalone Hall of Fame induction as opposed to being grouped in the Legacy. I don't think he's that old to be given that spot. And I've heard some sad news like in his later years. Apparently he got diabetes or something that forced him he had to amputate his legs, right?
Yes, correct.
And so I just wish that it's a bit late lah. Like he should have been given his flowers way earlier when he was still alive. And I do hope that more people learn about Kamala, because bro, if you watch early New Generation era with Undertaker and all that, Kamala was a huge part, like you said.
Yeah, he was there a lot, right?
Yeah.
So they're doing something new as well this year, and it kind of makes sense because at the end of the day, you'll start running out of people to induct, huge names to induct into the Hall of Fame. And with this new category, wow, there are a lot of people to re-induct, as it were. Of course, I'm talking about the immortal moment.
Yeah, I love this concept because, right, like you said, right, you can only induct like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels so many times as a person, right? But then 50 years later, right, you do not want people to forget about Bret Hart's legacy. So the best way to continue that is to have his matches, right?
Exactly. And as the very first immortal moment, I mean, you know how much I love Bret Hart. You know how much I love this match, one of my favorite matches of all time. I would 100% agree that this should be the first.
Yep, I love it as well. And I thought that for this generation of wrestlers, like for example, there will have been a generation of wrestlers that would have said like it should have been Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. That should have been an iconic moment, right?
Yes.
But for this generation of wrestlers who care a lot about work rate, who care a lot about the art and the storytelling of pro wrestling, this match would have been like number one.
And do you think it was also done very strategically? Because talking about like when this match happened, right? This would have been the match a lot of us grew up in terms of it was right in between New Generation and the Attitude Era. This was essentially the birth of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Correct. So this would have been where more modern audiences would have remembered like their first big wrestling moment, right? I mean, iconic, right? The blood gushing down Stone Cold's face.
Yeah, squeezing blood from a stone. That was the t-shirt that was super popular. And then it was Bret Hart turning kind of like he was turning heel, right?
Yeah. What do you think about the inductor in this situation, CM Punk? Because some of them were saying that, it would have been perfect if it was Ken Shamrock, right? Because Ken was, of course, the referee at that point in time. But for me personally, I'm a CM Punk fan, of course. And we all know how much CM Punk respects Bret Hart, respects Stone Cold.
Yeah,
he was fans of both of them. So in terms of like a current modern star to kind of bridge the gap for fans to learn about this match, I think it's a great choice, lah.
Yeah, and like as a fan, Like, I love that they picked this match, but you can kind of really, to go back to what I was saying earlier, right? Like, the strategic placement of this match at this point in history, I think it's all very much well thought out.
Yeah, yeah. And I would say that now he opens the doors, right, for a wrestler to be multiple time
Wow.
inductees.
Isn't Bret Hart like first third timer or something like that?
Yeah, this is his third one. I
This
tell
will
you,
be
he still
his
got how many more matches?
Correct.
Bro, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
Yeah. And then Kurt Angle is going to come in. He's going to have a ton more. This could go on forever. But yeah, it's just smart business, business-wise, and in terms of honoring these classic matches. So there you go.
Yeah, I wonder what the Hall of Famers get other than the ring. Do they get like money? What do they get?
10,000? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, so Jose, I remember last time Channel 5 show on TV late night, but got cut many times.
Yeah.
Boring sia. Suddenly match ends with black and white blood.
Bro, we all remember those times, man.
Yeah.
Back then I didn't even get Raw or SmackDown. We got like Velocity and Heat, and I would watch it on a Saturday night. You know, just to see the clips.
I remember those days when it was WWE Afterburn, WWE Bottom Line, and you have Jonathan Coachman giving like a recap of the matches.
Yep.
Yeah. That's actually what inspired or started my like collection, WWE VCD DVD collection, because I was like so annoyed that I couldn't get the full matches. I actually hunt down all these VCD shop Pokim and all that.
Pokim made a lot of money from us, bro.
Bro, every time they show wrestling on the Tampines Linkway, like the interchange.
Always got crowd. Always
got crowd to watch wrestling, bro. So like, so those were the days, like, in a sense, like, because those are the matches that I watched. I remember Bret Hart. I think one of the first DVDs that I bought, bro, like was a random WCW pay-per-view. I think it was sold out or something like that. I remember Bret Hart was like challenging for the title, and here's the thing, because at that point in time, Bret Hart already went to WCW, right? So I had no context about Montreal's screw job, blah blah blah. You know what was my first memory of Bret Hart? You will not link it, bro. It was like a bit no link.
Okay, what?
Remember the TV show back in the day, Malcolm in the Middle?
Oh my god, yes. He was yes, I remember the episode.
Not only the episode, he was in the intro, like TV intro scene for the show. Right, like at the start of every episode, they will have like the episode intro, and there will be the scene of Bret Hart doing the sharpshooter on Chris Benoit, and that's like part of the scene. So I was like, why is there wrestling on this TV show? And that's how I knew about Bret Hart. So lots of memories for me as a like a long time fan. And one last thing I wanted to say was I love reading. I would consider myself a bookworm, and one of my favorite things to do is read wrestling biographies.
Yes.
Hands down, my favorite wrestling biography, one of the first ones that I bought, or actually borrowed from the National Library of all things, was Bret Hart's biography called My Cartoon Life in Pro Wrestling. It was released in 2006, 2007. Bro, amazing, bro. Amazing. I think I learned so much about pro wrestling just from reading his book. I learned that fella had a lot of affairs on the road, by the way.
Oh, wow.
A bit of a naughty guy. But, generally, I think it was a great snapshot of wrestling during that period.
I rewatched this match recently, actually, because of the Hall of Fame induction, and you know what? As far as matches goes, this match still holds up. In 2025, you watch it, can't find any fault with it.
Bro, not only just the match, right? Remember the breakdown that Bret Hart and Stone Cold did with the Broken Skull sessions?
Yes.
I love the analysis of it. And you know what? I wish more wrestlers, like, they really need to watch this as part of their training. I think every wrestler, not just America, like all the wrestlers in Singapore, I hope you guys watch it as part of your training. Not because like you have to do the move for move, but it's really the psychology of the wrestling in that match.
Yes. Why they're doing what they're doing. And they weren't doing anything outlandishly crazy. Yeah, there was a shot with the bell to the head, and apparently Stone Cold felt nothing.
Yeah. Like amazing, right?
And that's why I think, no, it's not why I think. I know for a fact that that's why so many wrestlers look up to Bret Hart. And it's always been something that he's been very proud of. He never hurt a single person in the ring, but he made everything look good.
Exactly.
And now you have the exact opposite in AEW. Everything looks fake as fuck, but they're hurting each other. For real. Like, that's not wrestling. That's not pro wrestling, the art.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Bret Hart's philosophy. I tell you, if every wrestler approached it with that, like, my job in the ring is to take care of you, but we will
make it look good.
Make it look super good, super realistic. I think we've done our job, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you as a viewer, you want to watch wrestling and not worry that someone is really hurt.
Yeah. while also suspending the disbelief that they are working together. You know?
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, oh no is right.
Okay,
Let's
okay,
talk
let's get
about
back on track.
the tag team that are being inducted, the Natural Disasters. Okay, I remember. Okay, so obviously the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon, my era, like 80s golden era of wrestling, right? They were all like, look at them. They
Yep.
were the very prototypical heel tag team that would
Yeah.
dominate. Oh, do you remember Earthquake's finisher?
Bro, this is before my time, bro. But
Bro,
yeah,
it
what
was
is it?
like, when I think back on it, like, how dumb is it? But I don't know, like, as a kid, it made sense, right? It's literally just I believe it was I can't remember if it was a body splash or a leg drop, but it was the setup that was cool. Because, imagine your opponent on the mat, right?
Yep.
Earthquake would jump around the prone carcass of his opponent to simulate an earthquake, because the ring would shake, what? So he would be like,
He will just run. He will run around,
no, he just jump around the guy, like, boom.
and then the guy sells it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't sell it, because the whole ring would shake, ma.
Oh shit! So wait, do they make the ring like just extra bouncy just so they can reflect it, or what's
No
going
lah,
on?
I think he's just that heavy lah.
Oh my god, that's
You know,
hilarious.
and then
That's fucking
after he
hilarious.
does the dong 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 dong, then he drop a splash.
Oh my god, bro. You know what? So host, you just brought up a great point. My memory of Earthquake is not from WWE.
Wait. Shockmaster was Typhoon though.
Wasn't it? It was John
No, wasn't
Tenta.
Earthquake.
John Tenta is Earthquake or Typhoon?
Tenta is Earthquake.
Ah, okay.
Oddman
Wait, so,
is Typhoon.
oh, I see. So Shockmaster is Oddman.
Yes,
Is
I
it?
believe Shockmaster was Typhoon.
I'm sorry, they're all interchangeable. They kind of look similar. Yeah, but yeah, I guess it predates my era. But I do remember again all the stories through Bret Hart spoke,
Yeah.
thankfully, of his stories about Earthquake. So they felt like such a fun bunch, right? Like
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
crazy over the top cast of characters. Like when you think of wrestling as an oddball, like this was the era where everyone was kind of like an oddball, like larger than life,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah.
Cartoonish gimmicks. This was the era. Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, and then he was Tugboat. I don't know if you remember it as a face. Typhoon was Tugboat. He would go poop poop.
Bro,
The era, bro. It's the era.
how we sit through that shit. I mean, like it's like a Saturday morning cartoon, lah. I would say,
No,
lah.
it was very much geared towards kids. And as a kid, of course, you'd be like, hey, baby.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Like you like cool. You're like, wow, hey, very cute, very fun one. So yeah, of course, now when we watch it, that's like,
Bro, I watched Hi-Fi and I loved it, bro.
Yeah.
No regrets, bro. No
There you
regrets.
go. So the Natural Disasters will be inducted. And then we got Lex Luger. Yeah.
Lex Luger was interesting because I think a lot of people were more interested in who was going to be inducting him.
Yes.
Yeah, but now that's cleared up. It's not going to be Sting. It's going to be DDP. Now we can at least focus on Lex Luger.
What do you remember most about Lex Luger? It's been talked about a lot, right? Like, but I try to remember it from when I was a kid experiencing it, as opposed to, like now as an adult and all the documentaries have come out. Like, I genuinely remember liking him more as the narcissist because it fit him so much better. Say what you want about Hulk Hogan and his All-American gimmick, right? Like, only he could have pulled it off because that's what they tried to do with Lex Luger, with the Lex Express, the bus. He would go around America, shake hands, kiss babies, that kind of thing. What Hulk Hogan was doing, but people were just not buying it anymore.
Here's the thing about Lex, because again, his run in WWE was predated my time, right?
Yeah.
So my first memories of him was really Lex in WCW, right?
Yeah.
So again, like you're right. Like I'm trying to base on just my memory as a child, like watching him in WCW. I just thought he was kind of cool, but kind of like slimy as a character. Like he felt like he reminds me a bit of John Bernthal, like his aura. Like he was a bit of this rugged guy. I think he was in the NWO at that point in time, and then he was kind of with Elizabeth. So he felt like this very dirty late 90s couple.
Just to go to that comparison, John Bernthal, to me, has a very caring aura. Like, I don't think that Lex has. That's why he couldn't cut it as a face, Like, John Bernthal, like, he's like rough, he's crazy, he's acting nuts, but it feels like he will always come and protect you, like a big brother,
Okay, I get what you mean. I guess I'm guessing more of like his Punisher kind of character. Like he just don't give a fuck, kind of like. Even as a child, I could get the vibe that he doesn't give a fuck. Like he was just there, kind of doing his thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, and Lex had a storyline, and I don't know how much was real, but thanks for reminding me, Sir Hoos, where he had a metal plate in his arm.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm not can't remember this
like he
storyline.
broke his forearm or something like that, so they put in a metal plate. And as a heel, obviously he would knock people out with his forearm. What that was his whole
Yeah.
like he had a narcissist gimmick. Then he had the forearm thing, but it didn't work for whatever reason. As a face, he just didn't have the Hulk Hogan charisma to pull it off.
Yeah.
So say what you want about Hulk. At that point, he was the right guy with the right charisma. Lex was not the guy. He was much better as a heel.
Yeah, Lex, I think, is more well known for his heel persona, his physique, and I thought he represented WCW as his world champion quite well. Like I don't remember he was not a world champion in WWE, right? Because he
Yes, he was.
he?
No, wait, I'm trying to think.
No, because I know that period him and Bret Hart was like supposed to main event the WrestleMania X, right? WrestleMania 10. But I think he always challenged, but he never won it, right?
He never won it, yeah.
Yeah, but then
the crowd just never bought into him enough.
Yeah, he became a champion in WCW, and I thought that fit him better. Like he looks good with the big gold belt, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I think that's my memory of him. Of course, after he left wrestling, he all his drama and demons and all that controversies after the fact.
Yep.
I think he kind of slipped off my memory. When I reconnected with Lex Luger, the crazy thing was I completely forgot about him until when WWE a few years ago announced that he had this Icons, the WWE Icons documentary on the WWE Network.
Yeah.
And then when I found out that he's actually wheelchair bound and I found out about his paralysis, I was like, wow. Like if I were to put myself in his shoes, right, bro, I imagine you're like super jacked and like your whole life you are like this alpha guy, and then now you're bedridden or like wheelchair bound. And then suddenly you talk about like him being humbled by religion and all that. I was like, wow, he has so much grace to be able to, be positive in his current situation, because his quality of living essentially has been nerfed, right? Completely. Yeah, so a lot of respect for him.
Who's brings up a good point as well. He just slammed Yokozuna. That was his highlight in WWF.
Yes.
On some warship, right? I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So that was his Hogan slamming Andre moment lah. Him slamming Yokozuna.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I would say he is a very memorable era. Like he was a memorable presence in the era of the new generation for sure. And I think he definitely deserves a place in the Hall of Fame. But my main thing is, I think what is gonna be the most lasting impression from him is, I think, his very inspiring story in the Hall of Fame.
That's true.
Can you imagine, bro? Because I saw his interview with Chris Van Vliet and like his DDP stuff. He's trying to stand. So he has been training that he can stand from his wheelchair. So can you imagine the pop he will get if he actually stands up from his wheelchair and walks? I think it's bigger than Linda McMahon standing up at WrestleMania 17.
Oh
bro.
my god, what? That's not even a fair comparison.
No. This is a wrestling comparison.
Jeez. Okay. But yeah, it will be interesting to definitely see him at the Hall of Fame. Okay. The second last one, she is a bit of a, I don't say controversial, but some people have said that, she's only here because she's the wife of Mark, aka The Undertaker, Michelle McCool. Okay. For Michelle, I feel like I have to defer more to you because that was during the time I stopped watching already, right? Like I do remember her here and there. I wasn't really watching WWE when it was like, her and Layla. With the broken title, they each held half of the title or some bullshit like that.
You remember that? So that's actually quite a big moment.
I don't remember it because I watched it. I remember it because I saw it in highlights. And it always came across hokey because the whole setup was them pulling the title and then it breaks apart. But it breaks apart in this perfect, obviously it was cut.
You know what? When it comes to these female inductions, I'm going to grade it on a curve, right? When I say that, it's because I love my Tori Wilson, I love my Stacey Keeblers, right? But for me, that's like the minimum entry point. If you can have a better career than any of these two girls, you're Hall of Fame worthy. So so based on that grading curve, right?
Yeah.
Michelle McCool has been, Divas champion. She has been women's champion. So technically, I would say she deserves it based on the fact that Tori Wilson and Stacey Keebler is in it.
When you put it that way, I actually agree with you. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And I'll try to give some flowers to her, right? Okay. Like even before, her dating Undertaker, because let's be clear, she only started dating Undertaker when she was really kind of leaving the business really.
Mm.
So she had a good 3, 4, 5 years solid run as like a top women's star on her own, married,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
She was like one of the faces of the PG era women's division, the Divas era. Like it was her, it was Melina, it was Beth Phoenix. Like there was this rotating cast, right? And she was always on top. And I thought what was good about her gimmick. I mean, even when she was before she joined Layla and did Lay Cool, right? She had a bit of this like I would say like badass vibe to her.
Yep.
Like she was a bit of on the skinnier side, but like she was very vicious. So I thought like her and Melina and Beth Phoenix felt like worthy main eventers in that scene of other like I wouldn't say Eve Torres is like the best or like Candice Michelle, you know what I mean? So if you're wrestling in that field of wrestlers, right? Of course somebody like Michelle McCool is like okay, she's can be a top
Standing
star.
out lah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean she definitely is like Kelly but can wrestle kind of thing,
I'm trying to think, right? Is there a generation of wrestlers before her that haven't been inducted into the Hall of Fame? Because at the end of the day, right, it's a much smaller pool. Like they won't have this problem in 20 years' time because the number of women wrestlers has increased, right? Women's wrestling has grown. But in that era, obviously it was a lot less. Much less if you go before that.
Bro, for sure. I there's a couple that has slipped through the cracks that deserves the title, like a recognition, right? Ivory, right?
Oh,
Victoria.
Victoria is not in the Hall of Fame?
No, not yet.
Oh shit, yeah.
The Molly Holly has been.
Yes.
I believe. Wait, there was one more that has been. Was Ivory? No, not
Mickey James have, right?
Not yet. Mickey James hasn't been yet. So there are still a couple more that haven't got to. Okay, put a button on Ivory. Those who are in the chat, if you guys are aware, can double check. I don't know whether Ivory has been. I
know Jacqueline has been.
Yeah, Jacqueline has been. It's for my brain is like trying to recall, like trying to dig up the process. Maybe Ivory might have. Yeah. But definitely Molly Holly has as well.
Right.
Yeah, but Victoria has not, which I think is a serious
Ivory have,
there.
bro. Ivory have.
Okay, Ivory have, great.
So
That's
I'm
great.
looking at the list right now. Beth, Trish, Tori, Ivory, Sherry, Bella Twins, Moolah, Charmel, Lita, Wendy Richter, Jacqueline, Alundra Blaze, China, Mae Young, Bull Nakano, Molly, Holly, Stacy Keebler.
Yep. So again, like there are a couple there that I think still deserve.
Mickey James.
Mickey James definitely needs to be there. Do you think? Okay, what about Melina? Is there a case for Melina?
I feel like you should clear Mickey James and the
Victoria
ones
first.
Victoria first. Then you bring in Melina.
Okay,
so
fine,
Melina can wait a few more years.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say grading on a curve. I think Michelle McCool's what she did definitely she predates the Bella twins. So if Bella twins got it, damn it, Michelle McCool deserves it.
Yeah. And Jazz is another one.
Oh yeah, Jazz. Okay, good for her. Jazz hasn't been, right?
No. As Awesome Kong.
No, okay. Awesome Kong would get into the TNA Hall of Fame.
But not so much WWE, right?
WWE, she just cup of coffee as karma. Never do anything else.
Right, true.
Yeah. And you know what? I wish Layla was given her flowers. I don't know whether Layla would get in the Hall of Fame, but I think she should at least be there present.
I'm surprised that I'm not surprised, but there could have been an argument to have Layla induct Michelle, right?
Yes, I would say it would make more sense for Layla to do it because what the hell is Undertaker going to talk about the wife? He's just going to talk about her as a wife, not as a wrestler. I don't know.
Well, they need star power at this Hall of Fame ceremony, so Undertaker star power maybe.
Yeah. You know what? If it was Layla inducting Michelle, right? I think the fans would have gone easier on this induction. In my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Okay, and then of course we come to the main event of the Hall of Fame this year. Paul Levesque, Triple H, inducted by his best buddy Shawn Michaels. I mean, this one is a no-brainer, right? And especially what he's done, not just as a wrestler, but now in the past 2 years in the Levesque era. Like, hell yeah, bro.
Bro, I think it's hilarious, right? Because like once you become the guy in charge, like remember Cody Rhodes had this problem. Okay, I'm the guy in charge. I do not want to be the champion. I don't want to be the face. I do not want to be given my flowers. But because he's Triple H and now they are in a like a part of a bigger conglomerate with TKO, he can be given the flowers where it doesn't come across as like him just shook sendiri, you know,
patting himself in the back.
Yeah.
And they did the whole thing where they surprised him. So I mean, it was a nice touch. And like you said, like it's a lot of okay, let's do that so that it doesn't feel like he's inducting himself.
Correct. And you know what? I think, bro, like the fact that The Rock is not in the Hall of Fame is wild to me as well.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
but
think
again, he deserves it. I don't care. Even if he induct himself, I'm like, sure, yes, he absolutely deserves it.
For sure,
Especially
for sure.
from the past, it could be argued that because of Triple H taking over and the storylines that he's built up, right? That TKO's investment was actually like, oh, it's a positive thing. I can't imagine if Vince McMahon was still running it and then this TKO thing happened.
Yeah.
They would be going global, but the product is shit.
Yeah. Triple H actually is responsible for this current era in wrestling.
Yeah.
If you go even way back to his time in NXT, right? Building the next generation of talents. And then the fact that, he has kind of guided a lot of the women's revolution, because a lot of the stuff that happened in NXT with them pushing Sasha, Charlotte, Bayley, all came from Triple H, right?
Yeah.
So I would say just in terms of impact and influence alone, he is the most influential person in all of pro wrestling, at least in the last decade, right?
Yep.
So I think, and that's not even counting his wrestling career. That's wild, right?
Yeah,
he has such a big, legacy in pro wrestling as a wrestler, and then now he's creating this big legacy as like a executive, as the guy steering the visionary behind WWE for the next few decades, right? Going forward. So that alone, I think he deserves 2 Hall of Fames.
Yeah, and he does. Yeah, and he has 2 Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. He's going to have 2 Hall of Fame rings, and probably a third in the future.
Yeah, which WrestleMania match I would say? Oh, end of an era. Yeah. So I mean, really say own self induct own self.
But again, but even if he did that, so what? He deserves it, like 100%. And this is coming from a guy who couldn't stand Triple H back in the day.
Oh, bro, I grew up in the
hating him, right?
The what do you call it? The
Reign of Terror.
Reign of Terror Triple H, yeah. Bro, I was that guy that was like, fuck man, evolution every single day. Fuck, why is this guy always in the main event? Yeah, so I lived through it. And you know what? I was actually one of those fans that when Triple H had that match with John Cena and then everyone, suddenly the crowd loved Triple H. Yeah, I was like, hey, I miss Triple H being cool. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I would say he definitely deserves it. And I would say he's the first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. No one can take that away from him.
Rich says, bring back Terrorizing for one night.
Hey!
Terrorizing, his the WCW name.
Do you see his interview in Jimmy Fallon where he talked about it?
Yes.
Wild, right? To see Triple H talking about pro wrestling on Jimmy Fallon and like having all these deep cuts.
Correct.
Yeah, love it.
It's great for us wrestling fans. It's like, hey, we get it. We knew it already.
Yeah.
When people actually bring it up on my chat when I'm streaming on Twitch, I hesitate sometimes. But I'm like, I kind of knew that, bro. Come on, man. But I'm like, yeah, that's funny. That's cool.
Yeah. It's a great time. It's our moment in the sun for wrestling fans. If you think about it, just me going to Hari Raya visiting. So many people come out to me and say, hey, bro, I've been watching wrestling on Netflix. Very interesting. First of all, the fact that they come to me, I don't know what that says about me.
You, the wrestling guy, bro. We can't escape that.
Yeah, you can't escape that. But the second thing is that the fact that it's so accessible right now. I think a lot of people are learning and appreciating wrestling as an art form, and my God, it's been great. It's been really
we
good.
welcome new fans. We are not AEW's
Okay.
diehards. We actually welcome new
All right. Okay,
hashtag oh no. Hashtag oh no.
Gears,
Okay, so like we said, oh my God, this isn't even it. So, and very quickly as well, before we talk about NXT, do you see the promotions that they are doing about all the side activities? They got WrestleMania, like parties. They got like the roast of WrestleMania with Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
I'm like, what they have like every goddamn thing happening, yeah?
Bro, I gotta admit, I'm jealous because I know one guy. Actually, our old sponsor, he's going to WrestleMania, bro.
Who?
Remember Nick Mutt, our property agent, Nick Mutt? Yeah,
he's going to WrestleMania this year.
Yeah. His wife reached out to me and asked for like advice on how to purchase tickets. I think it's like a birthday thing. I mean, that's amazing.
Wow.
Shout out to her. Yeah, so I think they're gonna be at WrestleMania. So I'm gonna be like, stalking his profile going forward. But bro, so it's not even just a convention anymore. It's like things happening in the hotels. They got the clubs, and it's freaking Vegas. So like,
right, yeah, and it's full on, and they are leveraging 100% on TKO. With their, reach and everything. It's crazy. And just go back to Tony Hinchcliffe. He did a guest spot on Raw, right, recently?
Yep. I
And
saw
I put
that.
this on the Discord as well. Like I've listened to I don't anymore lah because I don't have the time. But I've listened to Tony Hinchcliffe's Kill Tony podcast since it first started. Because it all I don't know if you know about this whole like podcast universe, right?
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
all basically stems out of Joe Rogan lah.
Yep.
You know, he's the podcast king, right?
And
then,
Tony Hinchcliffe always comes on Joe Rogan, right?
yes, he's a friend of his, and Tony Hinchcliffe, big wrestling fan, he'll start talking about wrestling, right? And he'll try to educate Joe on wrestling because Joe used to think wrestling was this bogus shit.
Yep. Yeah,
Right?
Yep,
And then he had his Tony is a comedian as well. Then he had his Kill Tony podcast. And to see him 12 years later, and it blew my mind actually when he said the podcast has been going for 12 years, but 12 years later he's on Raw. Bro,
That's wild.
bro,
That's wild.
we have time, bro. We have time. We've only done this for 5 years. We have time.
Bro, we've done it for more than 7 years already, bro.
Oh, 7 still okay. He did it for 12 years before he got on Raw. We are going to do it, bro.
Yeah, we got 5 more years, bro. Don't worry, we will be there. WWE comes by Asia. We'll be there front row. We'll be doing all the interviews.
By the way,
will it into existence.
Have you seen the Tony Hinchcliffe Kill Tony show on Netflix?
I've not seen it. I've only seen the stuff on YouTube where he had like the guy dressed up as Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Doing all the comedy stuff. That's what that show is about, right? Like
Yes.
it's that same show, right? Yeah.
Okay, so the concept is he holds it at this comedy club, and people sign up, like random people who want to try comedy for the first time sign up. And then on stage, they will have their regular comedians. They will obviously have segments, right? But one of the key things is they'll pull names from a bucket. And if that person is selected, they have to come out and do a one hot minute of comedy.
Ooh.
And that's the whole thing. Like this person could either completely suck or completely be awesome and be discovered. Right?
Yep.
So that is
Yep.
the whole thing. The problem with that is because of the random nature. Let me just preface this by saying the Netflix show, all the people that he pulled, wow, they all dead crowd. The crowd died. It was
So this
horrible.
was this a live episode or what?
I
How does
think
it
it's a one-off episode where they filmed it for Netflix.
work? Oh, so it's
And-
either way it could go either way lah.
Yeah, and
I
it's
see.
not so bad until like it's funny bad. It's bad until like
Awkward, cringe.
awkward bad. And then after that, Tony will make fun of them. They will swan them, blah, 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 that kind of thing. What saves it is the Trump impersonator. It's all his other comedian friends that come in and do actual segments. That's the funny stuff. But the main crux of the show where they bring up randoms, wow, that was quite cringe.
They should have just promoted like up and coming comedians as opposed to like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah,
They
like
have,
not.
they have regulars, but again, their regulars are not established comedians. They are just guys who, have done a few more of these that maybe didn't hit that night.
I see. Because for me, right, when I think of comedy, like spontaneous comedy, I think of like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those are great stuff, right? Improv, but it's still fun. But I don't want them to be given this kind of platform if it sucks.
See, like, and that's the other thing too. Like, as someone who has watched or listened to the Kill Tony show before, there is a law behind what they do, right? I think as a one-off is a very hard sell because they are referring to things or talking about things that is like AEW. If you don't know the history, it will make no sense to you whatsoever.
I see.
So- Yeah.
Do you think the Rose of WrestleMania might be a sleeper hit?
I think
If I-
I think it will because we all know the law. We know the jokes. But is it showing on Netflix or not? That's the question. I don't even know where it's showing.
I do not know. But you know what? I
I'm
hope
sure
they
it will
put it out there.
Yes, it will show up somewhere lah.
Yeah, I'm sure they will put it out there. So those if there's anyone that's from Singapore that's going to WrestleMania, please hit your boys up, drop
Yep.
us a DM. We will definitely help you guys shout out, spread the word about your trips. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see what's going to go down. I can't even wait to see like the set reveal as well. Those are the big things that we always look forward to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay, we are an hour and 20 minutes in. We haven't even touched WrestleMania. Let's jump in to NXT Stand and Deliver.
Come, let's go through the card.
Very quickly, and by the way, Swerve, who complaining there's not enough representation. Yeah, sure, okay, look at this card. For the NXT Women's North American Championship, it's a ladder match, of course it is. It's a standard already at this point. Zarya versus Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame versus two TBDs.
You know what? If you asked me this question 1 year ago, I could have not put the names and the faces together, right?
Yep.
But since it's been on Netflix, I've been watching. And you know
Yes.
what? I got my money. I want my Sol Ruka to win. That's my vote.
Bro, the great thing about this is, I want Kalani Jordan to win. I think she deserves it.
She's great as well.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
great. Beautiful, by the way. But Sol Ruka, what I like about her is that she gives me like a 90s gimmick because of a surfer character.
Yeah.
But once she start wrestling and that freaking soul crusher move, holy shit.
Soul
Like
Snatcher, I believe.
Soul Snatcher, yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing, man.
The interesting story, of course, going into this is that Soul and Zarya are a tag team, right?
Yeah.
But now
and
they're in the same match, so...
Zarya kind of looks like this generation's what's her
Bull?
name? No, not Bull Nakano. Who's the other crazy girl in the 90s? The one that always with Shawn Michaels at that point in time. Luna.
Luna Vachon.
Luna Vachon. She's giving me Luna Vachon vibes.
Yeah, but she actually can talk normally. Luna Vachon. Do you remember?
She's the ultimate warrior, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so these are just the mid-carders, but like all of them are great as well.
Yeah.
Like,
And
very
then you got the NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie Becker, the women's champion, versus Jordan Grace versus Jada Parker. Let's go.
Okay.
I remember, I don't want to be the guy who claims it, but like remember from the start, we were like, this Jada Parker got a lot of natural charisma.
Oh yeah, she can speak well.
Yes.
I love she's so natural on the mic, right?
Yes.
You know what? Hot take. She's a better promo worker than Bianca Belair, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Natural, very natural.
Yeah. As well as Julia in this match. Okay,
so it's a fatal 4-way?
It's a 4-way match, yes.
Okay.
Julia suddenly returning and quote-unquote turning heel.
Mm-hmm.
Was it too soon? I feel like she just went away. Like,
yeah. I do not know what was the details behind the injury. Maybe it was initially it was considered like a serious injury. That's why she had to drop the title. But then now she recovered fast. So
yeah, maybe it was an injury that they just need to rehab for 2-3 weeks or something like that. But yeah, it just feels like she left, right?
Yeah. Because that would have completely what's the point of dropping the title if she's gonna come back, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the heel turn though?
I think it works. I think it works much better for her. I think they made a mistake. Okay, I don't want to say it's a mistake because she came in with a lot of fanfare, right?
Yeah,
a lot of buzz. Especially the IWC, they knew who she was already. I think she fits being a heel much better. She can be the Io Sky. She can be the... Do you remember when Io Sky turned heel? When Asuka turned heel, we were like, oh, she's so much hotter.
Yeah.
This is what has happened.
Bro, I remember the line when Io Sky turned heel hot. Hot shot turn heel, hot shot. Remember?
Yeah, Wilson turned heel, hot shot.
We got hot shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Just here's the thing about Julia. I just thought when I first saw her, right, when I first laid eyes on her, I thought she was like an anime character straight out of freaking Taken or something like that.
Oh, wait. So who said visa problem? Oh, so that's why they had to solve it quick lah. Oh.
Okay. Then that would make perfect sense. Yeah, so I always thought she had this air of like a dangerous female assassin.
Yes.
You know, she's kind of playful, mischievous, but like an evil person.
Her going out there trying to cut promos, trying to connect with the crowd with her broken English, it didn't work to me.
Yeah.
People just liked her aura, that's it. But beyond that, if you see her weekly, the aura goes away.
I like her being silent, women of few words, just look at a girl, smile, do her finisher, then arrivederci, when it walks away, that's the vibe I want from her.
Yeah.
And I hope she leans on that. But in a very interesting contrast, I would say that her turning heel makes it very clear that Stephanie is that number one being girl baby face, right?
Yes.
And it's weird because I always thought Stephanie works better as a heel, but then seeing her on podcasts, seeing her interact with her audience. And she has been cutting promos in English in NXT, by the way.
Yes.
And she's actually better than I thought, right?
Yep.
And I don't know, she's just very, very likable. Even though she's very silent and not really talking that much, there's something about her that you just want to root for. And I think maybe because I think she kind of shared about her story. I think she really had to struggle to be a wrestler. Do you hear what she said on one of the interviews about her? It's not about her saying that it's not about the money. She's actually wrestled for no money, and she was going hungry in Mexico. But because she got to train every single day, she was so happy doing it. So she's really lived the life of a struggling artist, who loves her craft. You gotta respect that, man, for sure.
Oh yeah, who's winning this? That's the question. She just won. I don't think it gives her or makes any sense for her to lose the title. It does no favors for her. She needs to establish herself.
I want Stephanie to lose the title and then go on to have a feud with Julia, like a proper feud, not like the one-off.
So no love for Jordan Grace or Jada Parker?
I love both of them, but I think they might go off into their own rivalry. Yeah, because we've been seeing the last couple of weeks, like they kind of cutting off each other, trying to get into the ring to go for the title. So I think that might because I don't think you need to pull the trigger on Jordan Grace too soon as well.
Yeah.
And I love Jada Parker, but hot take again. I don't know whether you disagree with me. I think she's not ready for the women's main title. I still think she should be North American.
I was about to say that she's not there yet. She's definitely upper mid card at this point, and give her a couple of months, I think she could be there.
Yes, agree.
Yes. Elvin says also kinda abused by her partner who had a lot of friends in AEW. I
remember this.
I remember this vaguely as well, but I didn't look into it. Oh, well.
From what I remember, she had a boyfriend who was also a wrestler in Mexico who actually like domestically abused her.
Oh.
And I think that guy went to jail because I think Stephanie like reported on him. But the problem is that guy is like best friends with like Rush and that gang.
Oh, that group, yeah.
Yeah, and then like they lost Igor Noblis or whatever nonsense. So they actually blacklisted her. Like they outcasted them.
They did her a freaking favor. So now she's doing great stuff in NXT and she has a much higher ceiling. So congrats to Stephanie.
Yeah, bro, and she's so beautiful. Why would you abuse her like that? Come on, guys. Please show some respect to your
It's nothing
girls.
to do with looks, bro. We all know it's nothing to do with looks or whatever. It's just bad people doing bad things.
Yeah, man.
Period. Okay, I'm looking forward to this match, but I think that Stephanie Becker needs to maintain the title and, like you said, go on a long feud with Julia. Like, we've had this whole thing of they were friends, blah, 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 and their interaction, if you think about it, has been very short, right?
Yeah, too short.
Way too short. I want them to go on a long feud to establish this rivalry.
And what's wild to me was a lot of people were talking about Roxanne's reign as NXT Women's Champion, like it was a good reign and all that. I didn't watch any of it, right? Because it was like, not accessible for us.
Yeah.
I think like this current era of the women's wrestlers in NXT is gonna surpass that, bro. Every one of them have so much aura, bro.
Bro, yeah, but that's the thing. Like, to your point, right? Like, I know people like Roxanne because she's grown up in NXT in a way, right?
Yeah.
I've always said that every time they give her the mic, it's rough, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like, her and Cora Jade, like, I honestly I think Cora Jade is the biggest star.
Yeah, for sure. Cora Jade can cut a better promo for sure.
Yeah.
And you see Roxanne's not doing much on the main roster, so
I hope it feels like she's going to go down the path of Johnny Gargano. It's one of those like Triple H's guy or Triple H's gal, but then doesn't really have that connection with the audience.
We shall see. I mean, her being like a smaller character, if she can develop her personality. I mean, you look at Alexa Bliss, like her stature didn't stop her from achieving great things.
No, but it's all personality, what?
Yes, correct. So she needs to somehow find that personality on the main roster.
She struggled with even in NXT. So like that is a bit of a like, okay, you have a steep hill to climb. Irvin says, what if at the end of the match, Mandy Rose Mandy. Apart from the initial pop, I don't think that's a good idea and they don't need Mandy Rose. And Mandy Rose doesn't need them.
She's happy on OnlyFans, so like let her live her life. I don't think WWE needs her. We have enough. We have other girls already. Our attention has changed. We have moved on.
Let's talk about Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus Gauntlet match winners. Also, they're doing like a Gauntlet match thing.
Okay, so the Gauntlet match itself is happening in NXT this week?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. I do not know any other tag team in NXT other than Nathan and Axiom.
So that's the issue with NXT. I feel, right? A lot of their tag teams are sort of like, hey, but then again, it's NXT. It's the developmental. So it makes sense that they don't have established groups.
Yeah, I guess.
Like literally, Nathan Frazier and Axiom is their only established group, and they are a thrown together group. If you think about how they form.
You know what would be cool? I mean, this is a bit like a dream match fantasy booking for me. What if in the Gauntlet match we have a surprise entrance, late additions to the roster, bro?
Okay.
Bring back the Hardy Boys. Because I want to see that Hardy Boys and Fraxium match in NXT, bro.
They already had a match, what?
No, I know, but they was like a one-off match, right? But I wish they did it on a bigger stage,
Oh,
which
like
would have been
Stand and Deliver lah.
yeah, for sure. Like
Okay, okay.
yeah, because I don't see any other big teams unless like I don't know, like Motor City Machine Guns drop down
Right.
to the
Bro,
developmental or something.
the return of the Dudleys!
No, bro, no.
Devon!
Get the tables,
Oh,
like
no, no.
yeah.
Okay,
Irvin also agrees with me. I think
Hardys.
Hardys, yeah.
Let's talk about Ricky Saints. And he's defending against another Fatal 4-Way match winner. So there's going to be a Fatal 4-Way match on NXT.
Okay, cool. So who are the potential contenders? Because Ricky Saints won the title from Sean Spears, right?
Yeah. But
And-
then now there's the whole Ethan Page, Sean Spears. Bro, it's AEW.
Bro,
This
it's the
is what
AEW universe, bro.
yeah, they are doing like an AEW like
You know what?
alumni feud
Bro,
thing.
they do a 4-way, bro. It's Sean Spears versus Ricky Say versus Ethan Page versus Lexis King. Let's go.
Yeah. No, I think that is the Fatal 4-Way to determine the number one contender. Just
I
stick
mean,
out.
yeah, 3 of the AEW
Lexis.
plus one more guy, lah.
Yeah. I think that is what it is.
You know what? They are great. They are great in
Yeah.
this division, I would say. Yeah.
It's hilarious. Tony fumbled.
Yeah, hilarious. I mean, shout out to the NXT crowds, right? They have the most creative chants. So I love their nonsense.
I mean, they are like we talk about AEW has their diehards. The NXT card is the diehards, right?
For
Dante
sure.
Chen, let's go! Oh my god. that
Yeah,
would be
come
the
on,
dream.
bro. No, Dante's still injured. If I'm not wrong.
Oh,
If I'm not wrong. Yeah. Let's
Ricky Saints, he just won the title, so I don't see him losing at Stand and Deliver. If anything, he needs to show out, right? Him versus Ethan Page. Ethan Page
Yeah.
can make him.
Yeah, I think Ethan Page deserves it also because of the work that he's done this last year. I think he's really done great stuff. He's elevated Javon Evans. Yeah, but Ricky Saints, bro, I mean, this is where he's gonna shine, bro. This year is the year of Ricky Saints. I won't be surprised this time next year he's NXT champion. Potentially going on the roster. I think he deserves because bro, he's really cut his teeth and done his season in AEW, bro.
Yeah,
He doesn't need to stay long in NXT to me.
true. You talked about Javon Evans. He's in the main event. And like I said, very surprising because I remember when he first debuted, I'm like, who is this skinny fella? Like, no character, he's just bouncy. That's his whole thing. He was bouncy, right? And because of Ethan Page, he now has a character.
Bro, I mean, we can't even call him skinny anymore. Bro has blocked up recently, bro.
He's lean. He's very lean, right?
Yeah,
So talk about Oberfemi, versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans for the it's a triple threat match for the NXT Championship.
Yeah. Sorry, before we talk about the triple check, can I address what Riz said? Saints needs to bless the males in the audience. So have you seen what Ricky Say has been doing? Fucking funny, bro. He just put all these like random angmo makciks just tapping their head.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is because the ones that he tapped are all like really middle-aged aunties. Like it was not like a row of hot girls or what. It was just like auntie, and they all like so happy.
He's the auntie killer lah, bro.
Yeah, bro, he's the auntie killer. Ricky Saint, there you go. That's his gimmick.
That's his gimmick. A middle-aged white women love Ricky Saint. Oh my god.
Yeah, that should be the new chant for auntie killer.
Oh jeez.
Okay, yeah. So back to the triple threat. Talk about black representation, bro.
Dude, I know this match should be called the For the Culture match or whatever, right? Like,
yeah. Somebody said this was the SM and extra large match. You know why, lah?
Yeah. No, because one small guy, one medium-sized guy, one large guy.
Bro, the comparisons never end. Then there was another meme I saw. It was like Cham, Mocham, and I don't know.
Oh, the Pokemon evolutions.
Correct. Bro, I tell you what, the internet is too creative with this nonsense.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love it. Like you have a powerhouse, you have like a mid-sized, Booker T style wrestler, and you have a high flyer. Like you have literally 3 different archetypes of wrestlers in this match.
Yeah. A part of me has kind of been won over by Javon Evans. I think he is like their Darby Allin in NXT.
Yeah.
So he might probably do crazy stuff. He'll probably do a show-stopping move.
But do you think he'll win?
No, he won't.
Yeah. It's still too early, right?
Yeah, too early. And I think he will do better in the chase, right?
Yeah.
He needs to prove his odds. To me, hot take, I think Trick Williams is ready for the main roster.
I agree with you.
Not the best wrestler,
He's got the it factor lah.
He's got the it factor, and I think he can actually surpass what Carmelo Hayes is doing on the main roster.
I was about to say, you know what? They'll probably put them together and actually
no,
no.
not yet.
Carmelo Hayes is working with Miz.
Yeah, good for him. You know, he has a veteran to work with.
But okay, if I don't know if it's one of those odd couple pairings, right? But it's so cringe. Like this, like, you know, Miz is like this white guy trying to be hip with the African American guy, but he's doing it on purpose. And I get that they're trying to play it off for laughs, but I'm like, oh, it's quite cringe lah. Hearing Miz try to be hip.
Yeah, nah. I mean, let him do him. But for me, Trick Williams, I mean, you talk about the Yeet and Jey Uso's entrance being a big hit, right?
Oh,
Wait till
that trick.
Wait till Whoop That Trick is on Raw, on SmackDown, bro.
But bro, we need Booker T. It doesn't work. It doesn't work if Michael Cole or Wade Barrett or Joe Tessitore does it.
Yeah, maybe Pat McAfee. I don't know. But bro, like, yeah, he's a star. He's just waiting, for the opportunity. So by process of elimination, I think Obafemi's reign as the Thanos of NXT will still continue, bro.
You know what? I don't mind it. In fact, I think Oba could be ready for the main roster as well.
Yeah, but the thing about Oba is, like, I feel that he needs to hold down NXT a bit longer as the main guy.
Yes.
Because I don't see beyond these two contenders, I don't know who else can step up to that level yet, or is ready for that level yet.
No, that's true. But they also have a bit of a problem. If you take Trick Williams away, who's the number one contender? Like, they don't really have that other guy, right? The next person in line to challenge Obafemi, unless
not AD Thorpe.
Who?
AD Thorpe.
Oh, oh my god, boring is that guy, Eddie
There
Thorpe.
was a period where Eddie Thorpe was forever in the main event with Trick Williams, and I'm like, why the hell is this guy the main guy?
I mean, they're trying with this alone.
I don't know. Tony D'Angelo has been there for quite a while. Is he ever gonna go up?
Like I've said before, his gimmick is his ceiling. He's this mafia boss, like he's got the family. Hey, you need more. Your ethnicity, your background is not a gimmick.
Yeah,
it should be part of who you are, yes, but it shouldn't be your entire gimmick, and that's the problem with him. I think they played too hard into the but like it makes no sense. It's not something that people can connect with.
I don't think that's it. I think he will probably drop down become a lower cut once he's on the main roster. Yeah, but you know what? I still think he deserves at least a run with the NXT champion though.
Irvin says Mr. Dakota Kai. Apparently Eddie Thorpe is part of Team Kick.
Oh really?
Yes.
Maybe they bond over their Native American roots or something. I don't know.
Huh? Dakota Kai is Native American? I thought she's New Zealander.
She's Maori, right?
Oh.
Okay lah.
Different lah. That one is Native New Zealander. The other one Native American.
They all vibe over their nativeness lah.
That's not how it works. Okay.
Okay. Come, let's continue.
They vibe over the fact that they were the original peoples of their land.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Okay.
Actually, the way that we've just sort of talked about it, right? I agree. Oba should retain, and maybe Trick moves up. That means that match should open the show.
Ooh.
Because you want Stephanie Vaquer to, and they've been pushing the women very hard as well. I think Stephanie Vaquer would, as winning the title or retaining the championship, would send people home happier.
Okay. I like the idea. Hey, bro. You know what? Send people home happier. This is happening right before WrestleMania Night 1, yeah.
What?
NXT Stand and Deliver.
It's
happening like literally in the afternoon.
True. So technically they don't need to. They can do whatever they want, right?
Bro, can you imagine you're a wrestling fan on the day you go to NXT Stand and Deliver, 3 hours there, and then straight away go watch WrestleMania at night, like.
And then before that you go SmackDown, you go Hall of Fame,
bro.
Cannot.
Shakes, yeah.
You know what? The only bad part about it is
what?
I have to go to the USA. And with everything that's happening right now, that is the last place on my to-visit list.
I tell you, the moment WrestleMania announced for London, bro.
Oh, bro.
Sign me up.
Yes.
Sign me up. We'll
Yes.
be there. We will be there.
But I don't think it will ever happen, it's WrestleMania. Anyway, let's talk about WrestleMania then. Night 1.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's go. We already they've announced the order, or not the order, but the matches that will be on each night.
Bro.
And what did I tell you, bro? What did I tell you?
Is it going to be 4 hours a night? I swear.
Probably lah. Because starting time is like 7:30 or something like that.
Bro, I think this is like ultra marathon shit. And then, us diehards, we're going to watch Hall of Fame. We're going to watch Stand and Deliver. That's why we are taking a break after WrestleMania.
Yeah. Guys, we're gonna be chilling after WrestleMania.
Well,
So
I'll be in Korea, so yeah, can't do the podcast for about a week plus.
yeah.
Actually, after my Korea trip, I'm back in Singapore for 2 days, and I'm going to Bali, bro.
Whoa, bro, taking out all the leaves. Let's go, man.
Yeah, it just so happened that our calendar, my wife and I, and we're doing like a yoga retreat in Bali.
Oh,
it happened to
nice.
line up with her trip to Seoul, so I'm like, wow, shit.
Oh, okay, go for it, bro. This is the best time to like just expand all your wrestling energy.
Yeah.
And I think you go relax after that, bro.
Correct. No, exactly. And the best. Okay, I don't want to say it's the best part or the worst part, but my wife is actually going to Jeju, which is another island in Korea, right?
Yep.
Before I join her in Seoul. So the time that she's away is during WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, so she going earlier lah.
She's leaving on Thursday night. So I'm like, wow, I get to degen. I get to be the most degen wrestling fan for the entire weekend before I fly off, bro.
All right, watch party. Let's go. Okay, guys.
I don't.
We are doing live podcast this weekend. So
The point is that because my wife is not around, when you have your partner around, you have to go out for dinners and do all these things. The fact.
So Mr. Young is gonna be in your boxes running around, right? That's what you're doing, right?
Watching WrestleMania, we can be like, I'm gonna be freaking have a pizza on one side, just ultra degen.
Oh my god. Irvin said later you go yoga retreat, you keep thinking of wrestling submissions. There you go. Okay,
come. Cannot. We'll do a watch long, but on the Discord. You can't join us on Discord.
Guys.
As much fun as I had doing the live watch alongs, right? I realized sometimes I just want to watch my WrestleMania in my pajamas. I really
exactly.
on a Sunday morning,
Yeah. Hey Zayden, I see you fam. Self-inviting. I see.
like
Tactics.
that one.
Okay.
Okay,
Hari Raya
let's
open
go.
house also cannot.
Let's do it.
Okay, come. Night one.
Yes. Okay. This is in no order because we don't know the order. We only know the main event, right?
But this is in the order that I would want.
Huh?
For me. No, as in like if you're guessing the order, you know which is the order I would want WrestleMania to start with, right?
Oh, I know. I'm just going to list the matches first.
Okay, just
I don't
list the
know.
matches first.
Yeah. According to Wikipedia, I'm looking at now.
Okay.
We got War Raiders, Eric and Iva versus the New Day. I guess they had to have a tag team match. Now, the question is, should they have put Street Profits here in this position instead?
I'm surprised Street Profit doesn't have a match, the tag team match. But I think they might do a last minute one. I don't know.
Because to me, I think their thinking is, okay, we got the SmackDown before WrestleMania. Street Profits are the champs, tag team champs of SmackDown. Logically, they should have that as the main event. I think it sucks for the Street Profits because this has happened to them several times already that they didn't make the WrestleMania card. And I feel like they deserve it based on the promos that they've been doing, based on the push they've been getting. Like the SmackDown tag team division actually feels more like a tag team division than the Raw tag team division.
I completely agree because I feel like the SmackDown division has so many like legitimate contenders. So they should have had a match. I would even say like if they want to do a fatal 4-way tag team match with all the contenders, it would have made more sense over there.
Yeah.
But as we are recording this right now, it's only the tag team match between New Day and War Raiders, correct?
And like we talked about it just now, the New Day, yes, they just, turn heel. They're a little bit more interesting, but then they've sort of faded into the background. At War Raiders, they've kind of been there, and yes, they also have a new repackaging. They look more serious, but also, sometimes if you ask me who are the Raw Tag Team Champs, I will forget. I don't know who.
The problem with the New Day was they had such an excellent heel turn, but there wasn't a follow-up after that.
Yep.
They should have run roughshod across the entire Raw roster for a long time and then reached WrestleMania. But I think there was a lull period where they were not featured.
Yep.
So they lost a bit of their momentum. So now I think eventually they will win the title. I mean, that's my prediction for this match. And I think the New Day might go on to become more prominent members of Raw this coming year. It's just that they have to go through this period.
Maybe this is where they win it.
Yeah.
I mean, you need some title change. Might as well do it here for them, and then they can start a new chapter as the heel New Day.
Yeah. What do you think about Big E? Will he make any sort of appearance? Any sort of interruption?
I mean, I don't think he's physically cleared. Man. Okay, to me, I would rather him not come back when the New Day are so cold.
I see.
Does that make sense? Like, I would rather him come back when the New Day have developed some sort of heat. Like, they win the titles here from the War Raiders, then they go on this rampage and they start talking shit again about Big E, about other people. Because right now, like, I forgot the whole Big E connection. Like, it's been so far removed from. Not like if they continue the whole story from when they ostracized Big E up till now, then yes, Big E should have a role. But now you bring in Big E suddenly, like no connection like that. You know?
Yeah. And okay, I know there's a lot of pre-show that's happening. And I don't know whether they have officially announced that all the matches are going to be on the main card. But if there was ever a match that needs to be on the pre-show, I would put this match to be on the WrestleMania Night 1 pre-show.
100%, bro. Like, I have no hype for this, unfortunately. You know, they're great teams, great workers, but literally no build for this match.
Yeah. Put this on the main show. Damn it, you guys got 3 hours to kill in the pre-show. Just put like one WrestleMania match, might as well.
And then with their new PLEs, they got advertisements out the wahoo. They got promo packages. Like, I'm a bit worried. This is gonna be 5 hours long, yeah.
Let's hope not. Let's hope WWE, retains the time because we still need to sleep. So right. So this match, I'm putting it as the pre-show match if there is a pre-show match.
Okay. There you go. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I love everything that Chad Gable, El Grande Americano is doing right now. It is so in the vein of something Kurt Angle would do.
Yes.
And I appreciate it so much.
It's funny because somebody said like it took him to do another gimmick change to get on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
But I low-key think this might be a show stealer, right?
No, the crowd, like, wrestling aside, you know that Chad can go, right? But I think the crowd will be super behind this match.
Exactly. And it's giving me like flashbacks of SummerSlam 2002, Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. That was like one of the best openers in any pay-per-view. So yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that is such a deep. I want to go back and watch. Actually, the second you brought up that match, I start remembering that match.
It was an amazing match. I think it was like a pay-per-view debut for Rey Mysterio as well. So bro, they can do the same thing. You literally got a Kurt Angle regen there to do it.
And so you got Rey, the original guy.
Yeah, my question is he gonna get unmasked on the main stage of WrestleMania?
I feel like if he gets unmasked, it's very fast. It's too fast already. You know what I mean? Like, he just started this Americano gimmick.
Give us. So whose face?
The funny thing is Rey is obviously the face here, but El Grande could be such a funny gimmick that he becomes face here.
Yeah. This is his Mr. America era, bro. That's what he's going for. But you know what? It's gonna be a banger. I think it's gonna be like a 5-minute banger. Like, it's gonna be a short match, but it's gonna be memorable.
I somehow feel like they are gonna make this match. Going back to, remember I just said I don't want this to be the unmasking. I feel like they're going to do the unmasking. As much as I hope they don't, because I think this has legs. I think they're going to do it at WrestleMania just to have a moment, and then Chad really just did this for 2 weeks. It's a 2-week side quest, 3-week side quest.
I like the idea of him being unmasked at WrestleMania. It will create like a memorable moment. I also like the idea of him keeping this character alive beyond WrestleMania somehow. So maybe he can like say that, oh my god, I didn't know, I got tricked into doing this. I wanted to get on I wanted to get on the WrestleMania card. That's why I impersonated El Grande, and then suddenly another El Grande doppelganger appear. I do not know. Probably.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Like, he gets unmasked and then, no, I am the real El Grande Americano, some random other guy. And then now you got another fella. Actually, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Or Rey unmasked El Grande, and then inside the mask, he's wearing another mask.
Oh my god, that's a Sting move. Irvin, please no.
Irvin says, hey, use a reverse gimmick. Rey unmasked himself, called himself Ray Matthews. Bro, we've seen Rey unmasked in WCW. It was not good.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good-looking guy. I'm just saying that he
looked like a boy.
He lost his aura after that.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Like, I don't really care. Like, I think they're just gonna have fun with it. I want to watch this as a match.
Yeah, I would say El Grande would win, still the win somehow. I think he deserves it. But then somehow, as he was escaping,
he gets
Rey Mysterio removes the mask.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Ooh.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I feel like this is a better story than the other two women's title matches.
Agreed.
This is a way better story.
They have somehow reinvented Naomi and made her damn interesting. I love her new tagline. You know what's her catchphrase now, right?
What is it? Huh?
Proceed with caution, and then
Oh,
got
right.
all the caution tape all
Caution
over her.
content.
No, but it's smart because she can still do her glow gimmick because the caution tape is like glow in the dark. What? So
Yeah, yellow. Yeah.
yeah, so good for her.
And then Jade Cargill has been presented like everything about Jade is presentation, and
Yep.
WWE knows how to present her.
Yep. And they have, minimized a lot of the things that could have been her limitations, showed her as a badass. But a crazy part of me, right, wants Naomi to win.
Same, because that extends the feud. It gives her more
Exactly.
legs, right? Yeah. But this is Jade Cargill's WrestleMania debut in a singles match.
singles debut,
Yeah.
yeah.
Singles
So-
debut. So I feel like they need to put her over strong.
So will they? That's the thing, right? Is Naomi willing to sacrifice? Because another thing is they can still continue the feud even if Jade wins. So Jade wins, but Naomi is like still wants to take her down and can extend. So I think either way it works lah.
Yeah, it still works. Like she can blindside her after whatever. You can do a million and one things, right?
I feel like Naomi as this heel character, and I know we're going ahead, but if Bianca is a champion, I think Naomi would be a great contender to become a heel world champion with this gimmick.
Agreed. It could be a triple threat actually, if you think about it. The three of them. See, if somehow they just hotshot the title over to Bianca and they made Jade versus Naomi versus Bianca for the title, I would be more interested in that title match.
Than the current triple threat.
Yes, exactly. We've talked about it last week, right? But yeah.
Zayden says she looks scary as a heel. I agree. It's the big hair.
Yeah.
And it's the psychotic vibe that she's giving off, which I love,
Yes.
Yeah.
She does it very well. I'm looking forward to this match, not as a wrestling match, because Jade Cargill, I think, still has work to do. But in terms of the story, yeah, definitely.
Would you say a couple of years ago you're interested in a Naomi match? I mean,
No, I would not.
That's
would
progress,
Bianca,
right?
Yeah, Div says, would Bianca get involved? She like, what, Bodo only. See, I hate, okay, that's the other thing. They left it sort of like hanging there. That did she know? Did she not know? It feels like a loose end to me.
I think it depends on the match placement. I feel like if there is a situation where like they somehow put the women's title match somehow in the middle of the card and Naomi is like further at the back right before the main event, then I think Bianca can appear after the fact, after she wins her match.
Bianca's on a different night. Bianca's on night 2. Yeah.
Then maybe Bianca could appear just as
I think,
a
to be honest, I think they've tried to divorce her from the situation completely, which to me is the biggest loose end of it all, which sucks because there was an inbuilt story. Maybe in the future they'll revisit it. But
maybe they'll revisit.
Yeah, they
maybe
don't think this is a WrestleMania main event or title match worthy. story.
Because Bianca walking away doesn't mean the thing ends. What she just said she doesn't want to get involved in this while they sort out their issues. I think that still works, I guess.
Then they can bring her back into the thing if she becomes champion, then it becomes for the title, right?
Yeah.
So okay, that's fine. LA Knight.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Took a while, bro.
I was like, what? I didn't know what.
LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the US title.
Okay.
How do I put it? It feels like a mid-card match.
Yeah, definitely feels like a big cut match.
It doesn't the story is very It's just he's going for the title. Jacobs is up and coming. There's no real emotional connection. I feel to this story. It's a very generic mid-card story.
You know what's the biggest miss that WWE failed to do? Why didn't they do a promo battle between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu?
Oh my god, yeah. Why have they not? Maybe this just right before WrestleMania on the SmackDown.
Maybe they could do a last minute sell for the show, because if you think about it, they are two great mic workers, and they are just basing this match just because he won the title in contendership and they're gonna change for the title.
And Jacob had to fight this Braun Strowman 10,000 times. How sick were you of match 3? I was done already, but after match 1 I was like, okay, cool, they had a great match. Then I'm like, second match, okay. And then third match, I'm like, I don't want to see already.
Yeah. LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, while great wrestlers, I just felt the story is lacking. They could have done much more in the story. I mean, again, I know the story that they're focusing on is this whole Jacob and Solo, will they, won't they? As we've seen on SmackDown this past week, Solo might have his hands full with Randy Orton. There could be a possibility of a match there. But I think how this match ends will depend on Solo's appearance in this match.
Yes. Whether Solo costs Jacob or helps Jacob, or Jacob wins without Solo, or Jacob wins despite Solo. Like there are many permutations lah, but honestly, I feel like Jacob needs the win here. LA Knight does not need the title, so that Jacob can move on and do a thing with Solo.
Yeah, I think the story has gone past LA Knight. The thing about LA Knight is he was a great chaser of champion, but once he became a champion, I kind of forgot about him.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means about him as a champion, because some people as a champion they make the title interesting. I just felt like Braun Breaker has made the IC title scene interesting, right? With the things that he's been doing. But LA Knight feels almost in the background as the US champion, which is such a shame, because his chase to become a champion, singles champion, was such a big part of the show last year. So I think for the story, it makes sense for Jacob and Solo to kind of fight or feud over the US title.
Yeah.
Maybe LA Knight is needed back in the main event scene after this. Maybe.
Agreed. And of course, you got Tama Tonga in the back. Like, will he side with Solo? Will he side with Fatu? So there is some sort of intrigue there. At least it's more interesting, right?
Bro, we're all waiting for that one guy, bro. Our true
tribal chief.
Tama Tonga. He needs to come back. Tonga Loa needs to come back and level up the aura in this feud, bro. That's right.
Oh my god. I swear, if he doesn't botch, that will be the letdown.
Yeah, agree. He needs to get. I miss his chops, bro. I miss his chops.
Oh.
Okay, come. So I think we are all gunning for Fatu to win unless Solo screws him up. So that's what either way, that's what's gonna happen.
Or we could have Jacob win and then they all happy, hug, happy, but then across the weeks we start seeing Solo get jealous. I mean,
maybe
that's a story that could be done as well. Okay, here we go. Tiffany Stratton. The WWE Women's Champion versus Charlotte Flair. Okay, so they did this whole thing on SmackDown where Charlotte was given the day off to go cool down or whatever the bullshit. Then they showed backstage footage of Tiffany getting attacked like backstage, right?
Yep.
Do you think they're playing into this whole reality of it by scripting something that is sort of a half-truth? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's exactly what they're doing. They found. This is weird to say that they found lightning in a bottle with what happened last week, and they are capitalizing it. And they're like, you know what? Let's lean into a bit of the reality, but keep them away from the mic. It's just now fighting.
yeah, exactly, right. So they don't actually come to blows again on the mic, because we know that shit is gonna fall apart.
Yeah. So this is, I think, one of the feuds that benefited from the longer runway to WrestleMania.
Yes.
Like there was a time where nobody gave a shit about Tiffany versus Charlotte. Like, okay, the concept was interesting, but they did nothing to get people interested. Until that promo. So you gotta give credit to that promo, because suddenly people are like, wow, what is this all about? All this drama.
And and to your point too, everybody was talking about it, even though there were other things that were bigger, quote unquote, on the card. Bigger consequences on the WrestleMania card. People were talking about Charlotte and Tiffany's promo.
Yeah, to quote what Dave Royalty said, I can't believe they actually asked Ludwig about it on Raw.
Alvin still thinks that last week's promo was done on purpose. Ooh.
I think the promo structure was, they had a promo structure.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, they went off the rails because of the crowd and because of
Bro, what about five-head play?
Yeah.
Paul knows that they will go off the rails. So he purposely booked them in a promo, because we were all like, oh, she's not ready. They're not ready, right? I would never book them in a promo. Paul is like, you know what? This is good shit. They will probably go out there and say something out of out of line or completely off script. And then that's real. That's controversial. Can you imagine he's making 5-head plays like that?
Yeah, my God. 4D chess,
Bro playing 4D chess. He's the game, man.
You know what? Whatever it is, whether it's real, fake, shoot or what, we all invested. So they warn us there.
Yeah, they did their job. And
this is actually the match I'm actually looking forward to, night one. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there watching it. Right? You know what? Because nobody is doubting it's going to be a great match. Both of them can wrestle. There was a time, remember, even you said yourself, like you thought that Tiffany was like boring, like her thing was over. But actually what she needed was just a feud to ignite back that personality in her. Because she found her spark again, in my opinion. And you know what? Like, I wouldn't even hate it if Charlotte beats Tiffany for the title.
Ooh,
can you imagine?
The heat, right?
Can you imagine the heat? Yeah.
And that sets up a monster babyface run for Tiffany.
Yeah, I think what she needs to be solidified as a babyface is to lose the title even more.
Right. If only Jerry Springer was still alive, he could have been a special guest referee. Lol. Alvin says, I think Charlotte not happy, so she made the call with Tiffany to go off script. See, that's the other thing. Is like Charlotte not being happy, her visibly being affected. Okay, so script or not, right? She was visibly affected by that crowd.
Yeah, that one we can't deny.
Yeah, but that didn't make any sense because she's a veteran, and as a heel, she should be happy that people are giving her Dominic Mysterio boost.
I don't know. I mean, you have to understand, the divorce is a real life thing, so
True.
that
true.
could have affected her, And
Like-
it was apparently that last week was her birthday as well. So
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe she
there-
was really like you
Yeah.
caught her on the worst day.
yeah, it was just one of those
situation.
days, right? Yeah, probably that's it.
Okay, hear me out, bro. I'm cooking. Let me cook right now, right?
Okay,
but
go for
imagine,
it.
right? The reason Charlotte Flair wins is because Ludwig screws over Tiffany
Oh
Stratton.
my god!
Can you imagine they bring that into like real life? I mean, into the storyline, and then on Raw, I did slip into her DMs.
You know what? I know this is scripted, but even that people cannot jump
believe.
that belief. You know that.
that he would. So that's the thing. Like people will be like, "What?
Nah.
You went with Charlotte over Tiffany? Hey, eventually, bro, come on.
Bro.
I would do it for Ludwig's career. Like that would put Ludwig over as a super heel.
It will make him a super heel villain, for sure. I mean, it's done wonders for Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there was one scene on Raw. Was it on Raw that there was like a backstage? They could see like Dominic talking to Ludwig. Do you see this?
No, I did not.
Shit, there was one. I was like an interview. So it's very
Bro.
not obvious one.
Easter egg, bro. Is it Easter egg?
egg, bro. No man. If that really what happens, right? And 4D chess,
Yes.
cinema.
Then we give it up to and say, you all worked us a great job.
Yeah.
Oh
good
my
for
god.
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm that would be my that's my prediction. Ludwig
Okay.
screws over.
Okay,
Tiffany.
if that happens, that's gonna be super memorable and I take back everything I say about this feud being boring.
And then Andrade teams up with Tiffany Stratton.
guys, too much. Abin, too much, guys.
Oh
Too much.
no!
This is too much, guys.
Wow, hey, Andrade is on the roster and he's not doing anything.
Oh my god. You know what? If Karen Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle can do a feud with each other, I mean, anything's
Yeah.
possible. Anything's
Matt
possible.
and Edge and Lita, you know.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Do it for the entertainment, guys. Go for it.
Oh my god.
Okay, come.
Let's
Night
talk
one.
about husband swap. Let's talk about the match that I think will be the kickoff match.
Yes.
Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Jey Uso.
Remember, I called it.
Yes,
Remember?
yes. Start the night off like with massive energy. Like you're setting the pace. And Jey Uso winning the title, sending the entire stadium into a yeet fest. I mean, holy shit, what a way to start.
Yep. Again, another feud that benefited from the longer runway. They went off the rails. They got boring, and then after the whole
Jimmy's bloodletting.
correct, when Jimmy got into the picture and Gunther essentially mauled Jimmy and killed him. And the promo that Jay cut last week, honestly, best promo of his career, my opinion.
Oh man, if only the crowd, like the crowd, you can like he was like telling them don't eat, right? But some of them still like they can't help themselves. They
The
can't help
silent yeet.
themselves. Like
No.
you can hear like some people like
Okay, I mean, let me be the devil's advocate. If I was buying a ticket to Raw and I was gonna see Jey Uso, in my head, I'm gonna go to watch Raw live. I'm gonna get to eat. It just so happened they damn unlucky that one day that they went to Raw was the one day where they were supposed to have a very serious promo.
Yeah,
And then they cannot eat. I think the audience was like, hey, I paid money to eat. Come on, let me eat,
Okay, here's the thing. I think there was a way to do it without having him try to like shush the crowd, right? He would just have to change the cadence of his speech.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do for the what chance as well.
Yeah, because if you don't want people to what, you don't give them that
The
break
opportunity,
to what,
Yeah, exactly.
right? But I think it would have been tough. Like they would still have tried to eat lah.
Yeah. But that aside, I mean, focusing on the content of the
Yeah,
promo, I
yeah.
thought we all knew the best part about the bloodline was Jay's conflicts, like Jay being torn apart or like, undecided between whose alliance and blah blah. When Jay was defending Sami Zayn, Jay standing up to Roman Reigns, that was the best Jay also, where he had emotion, he was serious, he was, passionate. We finally got that in the main event Jey Uso character, like in this match. And
Talking
he
about
had-
I'm gonna pray for you, but I'm gonna pray for myself because what I'm about to do to you, that kind of stuff. We always said this, whenever Jay has something to promo about, he
Yep.
does a great promo. But if he's out there just to hype the crowd, he can talk rubbish for
Yeah, correct.
talk nonsense one.
I hope, and I love the now the feud's culminating into this, right? But I hope in the match itself, it's not gonna be a super kick / chop fest. I hope that's not what's gonna happen, right? Because everything can deliver, but when it comes to the ring, I hope the ring general really helps Jay to a really good match. That's the only thing that is lacking in his main event run. Because
Yeah.
I mean, we all
he-
remember last year's
Oh,
Super Kick Fest.
yeah, two people with the exact same moveset. Speaking of Jimmy, right? Does he play into this match? Does he help Jay, or I think it hurts Jay if Jimmy has to help him to win. I think Jimmy needs to fight from underneath and win this through fighting spirit.
I would say having Jimmy there to help, impact the match in a positive way can
How?
work in a way that does not take away from Jay's moment.
What if Jimmy comes out after Jay wins?
That will also be a great moment. That will be like a Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero moment.
Yes.
Yep.
And then he super kicks Jay. No,
No, bro, they've done that already, bro.
No,
It's okay.
you can't do
No more turning on each other, guys.
No, okay, no. I was kidding. But yeah, so Jay, I have full confidence that Gunther can carry Jay to a great match.
Yep, agreed.
That is for sure, right?
Agreed.
So they can have this back and forth. They can have this, like, so many moments where Gunther looks like he's just gonna win, and Jay just keeps kicking out. He squeaks it out. He grabs the rope. Blah blah blah. Right? And I don't know. Should Jay bleed?
I mean, not too early.
No.
Too early. I would save the bleeding for one match that's on night 2. We'll talk about it in a bit. But yeah, I think straight up great match. Jay somehow wins from Gunther, outsmarts Gunther. Maybe not full on like defeats him like what Sami Zayn did, like a crazy move and then just beats him out of the blue. I think that's what needs to happen. And start off WrestleMania on a good note. Let's go.
Yeah, dude. And then the crowd would yeet all over the place, and it would just be a thing, right? A great way to start. Okay, main event then. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, of course, in CM Punk's corner. His best friend, Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Again, like, on the surface, right, is Paul Heyman's going to be in a ringside lah, like big whoop, right? But, I mean, some people have tried to argue that, it's mind games against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is by himself. Like, he's on an island with nobody to back him up. Even his wise man is no longer with him.
Yeah, I like the idea that Paul Heyman plays such a big influence on all three people now, especially after what happened on Raw last week with Seth Rollins. He's now part of the favor. He's part of the
no lah,
favor
it's not
somehow.
Not really lah.
No,
It's
but what I'm saying is like he now is playing on Paul Heyman's conscience, right? Like he's kind of threatened him like, now you owe me a favor. So
he doesn't really. He's like, I'm not going to beat you up. So, is he, what Seth Rollins actually, he's like what do you call it? It's like one of those gangsters asking for protection money.
Chaos. Yeah. I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
And he's actually embraced this like he really heelish side, because what he did was really, really heelish.
Correct. I think what it is was that Seth Rollins was lacking in the story because you saw the connection between Paul and Roman and CM Punk. But now, after that promo, Seth has kind of gotten his stake into the story of like, you know what? I might not be connected to Paul, but I want either Paul completely removed from the equation, or I'm going to use this connection to my advantage.
This is the devious architect side of Seth that, to be honest, we haven't seen in a while.
Correct.
We've really only seen the crazy Liberace dressed up as Lady Gaga set for so long, right?
Yeah. You know what? This match, I know a lot of people say like, oh, this is not really the main event because it's like a night one thing. But honestly, I feel like this is a main event. Like, it could have closed the show if it was for the title, it would have been a main event. Like, but I think because of whatever happened with Cena and Cody, I like the fact that this was a night one main event, because this can still be told way beyond WrestleMania. Still have a lot of far-reaching effects in WWE with what happens here.
The thing about this match, though, I feel like, okay, in terms of like a storyline, right? Doesn't it give you a vibe of this is not the end? Like, how certain main events are the end of a storyline, the cap, the finish, the big finale. This feels like they're gonna branch off into other shit.
Yep, for sure. There's
Right?
gonna be more stories to be told, and we might even have that singles feud between Roman and Punk. Roman and Seth is not done yet.
Yeah.
There's so many things to go, right? My thing about this is, and I know a lot of people has been suddenly going along this line of thinking as well. I want Seth to win
Okay.
because
And how does
because
that happen?
because I feel like Roman and Punk will cancel each other because of whatever happened with Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people might think that, maybe what if Seth and Paul aligns with each other? I think that's a bit too far out of reach. Doesn't make sense logically.
Yeah.
But what would be logical is Seth takes advantage of the chaos that comes with Paul being there, or manipulates Paul, or which uses it as a distraction, uses him as a distraction to get the win. I think Seth escapes with the win somehow. Yeah, and he's due a win, right, on WrestleMania.
But is that not like an unsatisfactory win? Even though it's night one, you still want to send the people home happy. I don't know.
I would say sending people home with intrigue is much more of a bigger priority at this point, because you think about it, Roman and The Rock beat Cena and Cody and Seth last year, night one. That ended in a cliffhanger, not a good thing, right?
True. Well, and that's why a lot of people said night one wasn't great, right? The return of Brock.
Yeah,
bro. I said this last week, but Roman, CM, Brock, Paul Heyman on a pole match.
No, that's a real one. Yeah,
that's a real one. And then bring back all the old Paul Heyman guys like Big Show. Who was Ryback a Paul Heyman guy?
Yeah. Oh no. This one is its own universe. Really cannot, bro. Too much already. Too much.
Then bring back all the ECW alum because they were the original Paul Heyman guys.
Yeah.
Bro, Stone Cold is a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, technically.
Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah. Dave brought a great point as well. None of this ending will be satisfactory. I think there's more story to be told, and I think I love it.
True.
This should stretch way beyond WrestleMania to SummerSlam. Let's go.
So, who wins? So you are going with Seth?
Yeah, I'm going with Seth. And I'm saying this as a CM Punk fan, bro. I want Seth to win.
Okay, as a CM Punk fan now, a new CM Punk fan, I actually kind of want CM Punk to win to get his WrestleMania moment.
Okay,
but ultimately, it's another one of those matches. It's like we're just gonna sit back and be along for the ride, because
exactly,
which is great.
Cool thing is, both main events, I don't mind who wins.
Yeah. As long as it leads to something else. There's more stories to be told, right?
Yeah, agreed.
And that's the beauty of wrestling, by the way. It's like, it's so different from, let's say, for example, Avengers, Secret War, for example. We know, or Avengers Endgame, we know that is the end of the entire arc. So everything ends there, right? So in a way, we can kind of, of course, the heroes will win at the end. It's just at what cost? In this case, it's like, WrestleMania is the end, but there's actually a lot, like there's next season. So WrestleMania can be the start of so many more things.
Yeah. I mean, wrestling is a lifetime of something. It's like life, like it never ends, right? Things in the past can, 8 years later can pay off. You never know.
Okay, Brock Lesnar, does he return?
No.
Because
straight up, no.
No, straight up, no. The Rock, does he return? Because Roman Reigns is involved. Or is The Rock... Huh?
Not for this match.
Also, you are thinking for the Cena match. Okay, we'll go there.
Yeah.
There you go. That's night one. Let's talk about night two.
All right, let's quickly power through.
On the card now, what I'm seeing, we have 6 matches. So maybe Randy could get his match here.
Yeah,
versus
maybe.
Solo, right? That makes sense, right?
Yep. For what it's telling,
Or Randy versus Nick Aldis.
Nah, I don't think there's any story. Too soon. Yeah.
Okay, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bailey and my girl.
Your girl. Remember how I talk about how the New Day and Viking Raiders will be a great pre-show match?
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, exactly that. For this match.
You know what? As much as I love Lyra Valkyria, I have to agree with you on this one. They did the tag team gauntlet match on SmackDown. It was fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to predict Liv and Raquel maintain and retain.
Yep.
Because I want Lyra and Bailey to have their feud. Because there's already dissension teased, right?
Yep. I want them to feud over the IC title. I think that's where they should be.
And that's where Bailey will put over Lyra.
Yeah. And I think that's great. I mean, it's good for Lyra. She has her first ever WrestleMania appearance. But on the pre-show lah.
there's no pre-show, bro. It's all main show. All main show, okay? Liv, so we are both in agreement. Liv and Raquel, they retain. Okay. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I guess that's your celebrity match.
Yep, celebrity match indeed. Weird thing is, I thought they haven't really built this match quite well. Let's be honest, lah. I know Logan has been doing a lot. He's like promoting his reality TV show and all that nonsense. And I think AJ Styles probably is like, fuck it, I don't want to carry this shit by myself. I think I don't appear on Raw lah, whatever lah. But you know what? This match might be again like the El Grande and Rey Mysterio match. This might be a low-key banger just with the people involved.
Yeah, it's a sleeper hit. It's one of those like you just want to watch it for the athleticism, for the work, right?
Yeah.
And for the amazing aerial offense that I'm sure we'll see from both of them.
Yeah. So my question to you, bro: any celebrity guest cameos appearing in this match? We had
KSI,
Speed last year.
Speed.
Yeah, we had Speed. We had KSI.
Who else?
I don't know what is this influencer universe about. Mr. Beast?
Oh my god, yeah, Mr. Beast. It's time to bring the women in. Where is Pokimane?
Oh my god, Pokimane.
Valkyrie. Where are those people at?
Yeah. You know what? I think there might be some celebrity link in this match. Remember they had who did he invite that day? Andrew Schultz, is it?
Yeah.
You know, something along those lines.
Now, Andrew Schultz is not an influencer though. He's more of a comedian. He's in the Joe Rogan universe, not the Logan Paul universe.
What about Tony Hinchcliffe appearing in this match? You know?
Oh my god, no, cannot.
Nah, too much. Really.
I don't like. I hate saying this, but every time there's an AJ Styles match on WrestleMania, I lower my expectations.
He has been unfortunate in having matches that had a great hype to it, somehow not deliver on WrestleMania.
See, that's the thing about dream matches, right? Every one of his matches have always been dream matches, but when the actual match happens, it's like, because there was no story, there was no build, and he unfortunately has been the recipient of that, lah.
Only Shane McMahon's match with him was good, in my opinion. And I mean, Undertaker, lah, I guess.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Slightway says, what if Nick Aldis sets up Randy versus Solo for Mania, but after Solo screws over Jacob out of the US title against Knight, Jacob attacks Solo backstage before his match, forcing Aldis to take his board.
Wow,
bro, my brain cannot process whatever you just said. But
there's a lot of shit happening.
Great attempt, but I don't think that would happen. I don't see Nick Aldis appearing or being forced to wrestle. It's too soon. There's no build up. I want him to be built up.
That sounds like Vince Russo booking.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, next match. Let's go.
Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Okay, I'm very interested in this match. Like you talked about earlier, Braun Breaker has elevated the IC scene. Right? Him basically cruise missiling Carlito is super viral.
Yeah. Second viral spear of the year for him.
Yeah. One for speed and one for this. Like, look, if I were Paul, Triple H, I would just make it so that nobody else does the spear anymore. Like, I know Roman does the spear. Who else? I know. Okay, Jay should not do the spear.
Yeah,
his spear looks like shit. Yeah.
Probably Roman and Braun. There could be a spear versus spear match.
Yeah, or something like that. Or Braun could just rename his spear and call it something else.
Yeah, like the gore. Because it looks kind of like the gore almost.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Finn, no chance.
Bro, that aside. First of all, I want to say Braun shouldn't win or retain the title.
Should not retain.
Yeah, I don't think he should retain.
You think he should be elevated above the IC scene?
He had a great run with the IC scene, but I think he should go on chase mode because I want someone else to sneak away with the title.
Who? Oh, yeah. And I said this last week as well, right? And if anything, he deserves a push too for the amount of, like, I mean, he was part of the hottest angle last year.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about Dominic. Oh, Dom.
Yeah. Process of elimination. Think about it, right? Okay, you have Penta. Penta has been doing great, but I feel like too soon for him to win a singles title. You have Braun Breaker, who is also amazing, but I think he can afford a loss by not being pinned.
Yes, you can take the title. This is the best time to take the title off of him.
Correct.
Because he doesn't need to be pinned. Yes.
Correct. And then you have Finn Balor, who has been like gunning for the title, but also has been screwing around with the Judgment Day. And I think this is the time that he will be ousted from the Judgment Day.
Okay, so we speculated, right, with Malachi Black or Aleister Black coming back. Is this where Dominic, because Dominic has been teasing, hey, we need to bring in new people. We need to bring in new people. Is this where Alistair helps Dominic win the IC title.
Ooh, that would be so interesting. I do not know how they're gonna go about it. Maybe that could be a way. Alistair could replace Finn. That would be such a cool story.
Yep.
But I think whatever goes down, like there's some chaos in the ring. Everyone is kind of, out of the ring, and then suddenly this cheeky guy Dominic sneaks in, grabs the win, and pins Finn Balor.
Bro, I was just about to say that. Like, I see the finish. Doesn't matter what else happens, right? Everyone will beat each other up. Amazing moves. But Dom needs to get the pin off of Finn.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
maybe...
I think the crowd wants it as well.
Yes, and maybe Alistair doesn't help Dom in that way. Like, it could be just him winning through the chaos and Finn just getting really pissed off because his own guy beat him, right? And then in the Raws to come, that's when we have the big ousting of Finn Balor via Alistair Black.
Yeah. And this is not the first time Finn has been screwed off from a faction. He also kena kicked out by AJ Styles with the Bullet Club. So yeah, this is normal for him. So you know what?
Par for the course.
I would love to see like a third era of Judgment Day. You know what? Judgment Day can be the long-running faction that Bullet Club is. Multiple leaders throughout their history.
Dominic Mysterio as the leader of...
Yeah.
Okay, no, maybe Alistair Black as the leader.
I kind of like Dominic being like the de facto young prince leader, and then they have Carlito as his backup. They got Raquel and Liv, and then maybe he always say he wanted another guy, right?
Yeah.
Somebody that he can not say be his lackey, but be part of his team lah.
Alistair lah. And Alistair can be the quiet menace.
Yeah. And he can be like pulling the strings behind the scenes, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
And then you could have the eventual turn. Alistair turns on Dominic.
Yeah. So many possibilities. But yeah, I feel like if Finn leaves and get excommunicated, right? Him and JD, when JD comes back, they can still be a team or they can still be alliance together because they have that history as well. So without the Judgment Day. So yeah, why not?
Yeah. Well, so we're all both in agreement. Dominic for the win.
Yeah, correct.
Let's go.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, Alfred, we are still on. We are finishing in a bit. We're trying to power through night 2 right now.
Let's go. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. A Sin City street fight. So this is another one of those matches that benefited from the extra weeks, right? Because they were kind of quiet for a while.
Yeah. And remember when I said like we should save the blood for one match?
Oh.
This is the match.
They kind of need it, right?
Yeah. They do. I think first of all, both of them are needing to prove themselves. I think you can tell from the way they've been cutting promos, I think they feel a bit jilted about their placement on WrestleMania. So this is like the Batista and Undertaker WrestleMania 23 where like, you know what? We're not given the main event slot. Fuck it. We're going to steal the show and we're going to prove ourselves. We're going to beat the living shit out of each other. That's what's going to happen.
Yep. And I fully expect them to beat the living shit out of each other and make it look good.
Yes, exactly.
Dave Royalty is very happy we're talking about DP right now.
Yes, Al Campeon. And I feel like somebody said this very interesting theory. What if they beat each other and then they bond through their violence and then they become like a super Brothers of Destruction tag team?
What the
I mean, that's a bit far out of reach lah. But
two-man power trip can
They both look great side by side. If you think about it, they're tall.
Yeah.
They're big, and they can destroy
long
everyone.
flowing hair. They can both do L'Oreal commercials.
Yeah, they are both, I would say, like classically like a novella hot, I guess. I don't know.
You have to ask Div about that.
One of them is Mexican telenovela. The other one is like Scottish country boy novella. I don't know. So I just find that they are main eventers who are trying to prove themselves given this cut, this slot right now. Yeah.
I can't say that I'm looking forward to it, like in terms of like, oh, I really want to watch this match, but I know in my heart they will put on a really good match.
Agreed. It will be great. And I think it might be the violence quota will be filled by this match. I do not know what they're gonna do, and I don't mind if either one of them bleed.
Yeah.
And they do like a crazy big spot, somebody drops from a height or something.
Yeah.
Might as well.
There you go. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Oof. I said this before and I still stand by it. So far, everything that they've done makes Io Sky look like a chump of a champion.
Is that why
I hate it?
To keep Io strong, Io needs to retain the title?
I don't know if they have anything for Io. You mean post this match or pre this match?
As in for this match, she escapes with the win.
Oh. Here's the thing: is like we know this is gonna be a great match, right? But storyline wise, like there is no getting behind any of these characters right now.
Yeah. None of them are likable.
Yeah,
they
like-
they nerfed Rhea's likability with this storyline. I don't know why.
Like she's still over. People love Mami, right? There's no getting around that. But yeah, like I feel like I don't want Rhea to win. I feel like Bianca should be settling things with Jade and Naomi.
Yeah.
And Io is just like, look at me, kind of kid when compared to these two. Like I find this match very like, ugh.
Just not the right vibe. The aura is missing somehow in this match. But that's why I feel Io should win, because Rhea and Bianca can cancel each other out. And then, Io retains and somehow kind of proves that, do not underestimate her. I think that's the story they're trying to tell.
It's like put some respect on her name. But yeah, if Io doesn't win here, it actually honestly makes her look very bad.
Yeah, because she has
looks
kind
like
of been bitched up lah.
Yeah, she looks like a transitional champion. The whole time she's just been pie face left, right, and center. So she's been disrespected. Like, yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. Like I don't know how they're gonna book their way out of this one.
Yeah, not a fan of any of the possibilities. This actually, right, it's weird. Like some of the matches has gotten back on track because of the things that has happened. Tiffany Stratton and all that.
Like, would you even argue that Tiff and Charlotte has now become a more compelling match than this match?
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure. Yeah, so this match, the saving grace for this match is the match itself needs to be a banger, right?
Like you know that they're going to be like great in the ring lah. It's going to be a quality wrestled match. It's just, it's tough to get behind any one of them.
Slide Away has a very interesting point. What if after night 1, Naomi wins against Jade, and then on night 2, Naomi appears and helps Bianca win? Then that could start a tension there.
Sure. Like she could help Bianca win, but Bianca didn't actually want or need her help.
Somehow like that, yeah. Something like that,
and then you have Naomi versus Bianca.
Correct. Then that could lead into that. That could be an interesting thing that comes out of the match.
But then it makes Io look like a chump, like I said. And Rhea is just like off hanging in the wind.
Or Naomi can come in and distract and cause Bianca to lose the match, and then Io takes advantage to get the win.
Right.
That could be another possibility as well.
So Rhea looks like the chump, and
Rhea can afford to be chumped because her aura can help her bounce back.
Okay.
Io can. So I think if Bianca takes the fall for it, I think it's fine, I guess.
What if Kairi Sane returns and cuss Io's guy?
Everyone got friends lah. Everyone got friends except for Rhea.
Idea. What if Dominic Mysterio comes out and helps? Okay. Because have you seen Kairi Sane? She's been like posting and she's been rehabbing and she looks great. She looks jacked.
She got jacked, bro. She is like she got on the AJ Styles diet, bro. Remember when AJ Styles came back?
But it's so weird because she's like super cute in the face, like a small face, very anime, and then body like bam. I'm like a bit don't match like that.
Yeah. But you know what? It's hilarious. But you know what? If she comes back and looks like a tank and that makes her a world title contender, why not? So
why not, right? So like I said, what if she comes back and helps Io? Screws Io, and then I don't know lah.
I know, like Dave say lah, a bit too unsatisfactory lah.
Either way, it's because of the build. Bottom line, right?
This was the worst build match. Like we talked about it last week, right? The worst build feud. This is it.
Alfred says, what happened to Asuka? She's still taking a break, right? She had that whole issue where somebody like invaded her privacy, stalking or some weird shit like that.
She's not ready to come back from what I hear. Yeah, maybe injury as well. But yeah, so that's the women's title match. To me,
does that kick off the card?
So the second night, I'm not too sure who should start off the match.
Because I feel like this match we talked about is a bit cold in terms of the storyline.
I wouldn't want that to start. Yeah. I would rather have like probably
the IC title match.
Maybe IC or maybe even Damien and Drew starting off with like a killer, street fight. Maybe that's it. Yeah. Okay. So next match, what do we have left?
Is the main event, baby.
There you go.
Cody Rhodes, John Cena, undisputed WWE Championship. Okay. I mean, we have to talk about The Rock. How is he gonna play into this? Is he going to do a run-in? Is he going to be there with John Cena, coming out with Travis Scott, all three of them?
Yeah, we've already talked about what we talked about the Cena heel turn. We've talked about like the promos the last 3 weeks. Now that we are here talking about the match, right? I just feel like they need to tie up a lot of loose ends, a lot of things that hasn't been addressed since the heel turn.
Well, I mean, on they still have SmackDown, so there's that.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean is like you said, they need The Rock to come back to be figured in the storyline. They need Travis Scott to get his ass handed to him as a receipt.
Yeah.
They need to somehow explain before WrestleMania the John Cena connection with The Rock. I think that needs to be touched upon a bit more.
Do they though? Like, they're both Hollywood stars. They're both like main event wrestling guys. They have a history. We know the history already, right?
Yeah, but John Cena has not explicitly said on his promos why is he aligning with The Rock or why he sold his soul to The Rock. He just complained about the audience, but he never said, oh, but then The Rock offered me an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like he never said any of that.
Yeah.
He should. But and then here's another thing as well. Do you think there will be a slight chance that the glass will shatter and we see someone else?
Well, he's going to be at WrestleMania in Vegas because of the Hall of Fame thing, right? Tovakin, how you doing, buddy? Slide Away says, still upset R-Truth wasn't involved in this feud. Okay, so, I mean, they've set the bar high last year, right? So now everyone and their mother is expecting the portal scene.
Every year got portal scene.
Like, okay, if they do it too much, I honestly feel like if they do it too much, though, then it's gonna lose its luster, right? So, here's
you know what? If Stone Cold is not going out there to do a Stone Cold Stunner, just have him appear backstage right before Cody goes into the match. Like the backstage pep talk, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like give him a high five, not high five, but handshake, whatever. Drink a beer with him.
Yeah, drink a beer or something. Yeah, or even like a one-on-one confrontation backstage with The Rock, like a stare down. Oh, that would be cool.
Ooh, yeah, right? Again, like, I think that the fact that they've had John Cena on this schedule, that a very light schedule, you don't see him that much, I think it's actually really helped them build this storyline because, once again, this is a match that doesn't need that much exposition and explanation and story. It's living off the hype of John Cena turning heel and the energy of it. It's there already.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need that much.
Yeah. I mean, this last week of, I would say last week of TV will be very telling on what's the hype level.
Yeah. No, it's still there. Like, I honestly feel like it's still there, right? Now, what I'm really like wondering is where do we go from here? John Cena winning and then going on his final tour as a heel?
Okay, I know you don't want spoilers. It's not really spoilers, but looking at the PLE cut, right? You know that Backlash is only happening 2 weeks after WrestleMania?
Which is very fast, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. There's not even enough turnaround. So I feel like and it's happening in St. Louis, Missouri, by the way.
Randy Orton town.
John Cena winning the title and then first defense against Randy Orton.
Wow. Imagine, yes.
Yeah. But Cody Rhodes retaining and then Cena going away for a while and then Cody Rhodes having a match with Randy also makes sense because they already teased that as well.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that having Randy and the hometown kind of like spoils the results. I'm just saying that it creates a very interesting possibility of seeing both matches. And
also, it could be their storyline way of giving Randy a main event shot. So, okay, you got screwed out, unfortunately, of your WrestleMania match, right?
Yeah.
You get a title shot. Like, you know, there's a possibility of that.
Yeah. And Tovakin say, Rikishi comes back and runs over Cody and says, I did it for The Rock.
I did it. Oh, no, Rikishi, please. Like, I honestly don't wish, I hope that they don't do a massive portal scene. There can be some interference, but not because, like I said, if they do it every year,
enough.
Yeah, if they do it every year, it becomes nothing.
Yeah, the story is strong enough to stand on its own. Let it happen on its own. But I don't know. I'm okay with Cody losing the title because we do not want a long reign like Roman Reigns. Like I feel that if Cody has a long reign, I think it will devalue Roman's reign. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. 100%.
Yeah, I think Cody can afford to drop the title and be in chase mode again. And I think that will actually help him not be soured by the audience.
Right. Agree. And John Cena, so here's the thing, right? Like sending people home happy. John Cena, he's a heel, but I feel like John Cena has enough fans still that him winning doesn't necessarily send everyone home with a bad taste in their mouth. Does that make sense?
No,
Like
I think people will be like, "Whoa, he
Yeah.
won, unbelievable!" Like it will be a cool reaction. But
Yeah.
people can boo it, but it's not like, "Oh, I didn't get my money's worth."
Yeah.
This is, you know.
Yeah. Like and knowing that there's more to come, I think is
Yeah.
they're in a
And,
good spot lah.
and think about it, Cena winning the title in his last WrestleMania ever also kind of feels poetic as well.
Mm.
It can also still be an emotional moment. I mean, he can look around in the ring, even though he's a heel, but people know like, wow, this is his final match, like he deserves it. I know there will be some real emotion to it, lah.
Yeah. Or we are overthinking it and Cody Rhodes just maintains because John Cena needs to go off and film movies and he'll come back as a face somehow.
Like I said, for the first match, first main event, I don't care who wins. I will be happy either way. Honestly,
Yeah.
I have no preference. I think that's a good thing.
Because
to me.
at the end of the day, right, you have to imagine that John Cena will turn back face by the end of the year. Like he's not going out as a heel.
Like I told you before, and I'm gonna tell the live crowd that's listening right now, he needs to do a Vin Diesel Fast and Furious 8 storyline where he turns heel just for one movie, then becomes a good guy at the end of it again. That's what he needs to do.
What? Oh my god. Okay, this would be convoluted booking, but what if The Rock comes out and helps John Cena? No, helps Cody Rhodes instead of John Cena.
Why?
I don't know. And then it turns out that Cody had actually teamed up with The Rock, and then Cody gets his Homelander turn. He's like, it was a double swerve, like a double agent thing. I don't know, man.
Too much, bro.
Okay.
Keep it simple. We don't overbook ourselves to smithereens here. Okay. I think last thing I wanted to address is like people generally say that this build for WrestleMania has been a bit more underwhelming than last year. You know what I would say to that?
Yeah.
I think this year's build is par for the course because we've been spoiled last year.
Yes, agree.
I wouldn't say that this is worse than WrestleMania 39 build. WrestleMania 39 had good build, but then there was like some that was like a bit meh. Remember Charlotte and Rhea Ripley felt like it wasn't a good build at all, but it turned out to be a killer match, your favorite match of the year. I feel like this is actually the standard. It's just that last year was really, 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 really good. And it's okay to can't strive for that because it was also like a decade mania, right? It was a big 4-0.
Yeah.
So
but this is the first one on Netflix.
Correct. So this I think still feels big on its own. It's just that, the stories is not as strong as last year because last year we had the final boss like almost on a full-time week. He appeared every week, bro. We were spoiled last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that, and from everything, like, because this is quote unquote, like I said, their first WrestleMania on Netflix, right? I still feel like they do have the pressure of delivering in a big way. So I do think that there is going to be a portal scene. I think Stone Cold has to be involved somehow. Stunning The Rock, all that shebang.
They need some viral moments that's going to be covered on Complex and ESPN and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
So that's still going to happen. I think the build being the way it is gives the expectation low so that they will over-deliver during the event itself. And I do agree with Dave. Yeah, I still, in my heart, feel that the build for this Mania a bit too long. I would cut it back. Like if you want to do like halfway through April, still okay. But not like the third week of April. I think
correct. Like
you're losing too much lah. Yeah.
So but that being said, like we are absolutely nitpicking because right now, like my hype level for WrestleMania is as high as any other year that I can think of.
Agreed. And I also feel like the water cooler talk around wrestling has been way more than any time in the last 5 years for me lah. Personally, I mean, feeling the whole around my social circle on social media. Yeah, it's there, bro. It's there, and you're almost reaching that area.
Rishi says SmackDown this Friday should be good. I mean, I expected. Okay, to be honest, I expect it to be good, but I don't think any storyline is going to change. Like, because it's a setup show, right? That's where you're going to get your Andre the Giant Battle Royale. So you're going to get all those people who got left off the card on SmackDown, right? You're going to get, unfortunately, Street Profits. That's probably going to be the main event.
Yeah. You know what, Rishi? I love that. Imagine the SmackDown before WrestleMania, The Rock and Cena beat up Cody until he bloody.
But doesn't that give away the main event? Like, you know what I mean? 50-50 booking, it kind of gives away the main event result, right?
That's
like,
true.
I would rather them not, to be honest.
We shall see. We shall see. But I would say something big needs to happen on Raw and SmackDown just to kind of like that final push to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Or they could be on holding pattern and then it's like nothing actually happens. So we shall see.
And to my point, I think that the thing that will happen has to be on WrestleMania so that you are compelled to watch WrestleMania as opposed to, Raw and SmackDown, they are the setup shows. I don't think anything massive, because all the stories are already in place. There's no more turns to be had. You are now just building towards the big event that's this weekend.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I mean, I think we've done it. We've previewed WrestleMania.
Ooh, and it is a crazy weekend. Everybody, please, get lots of rest before and hydrate and eat healthy because we are in for like 3-4 days worth of just binging wrestling. I love it.
Yeah, okay, so I believe we are going to go live for WrestleMania Night 1 review.
Sunday,
I think
Sunday afternoon, basically.
I mean, the moment it finishes, essentially.
Yeah, we'll come on live.
Yeah, on Monday Night 2, what's the plan there?
Bro, I can come on live right after as well.
Okay, so we will tentatively do Night 1 and Night 2 both live. We shall see. If anything happens, we'll let you guys know on our Discord.
But also, Sunday is definitely confirmed. Bro, I have nothing to, my wife is away. Bro, I'm all in. I mean,
bro, I'm scared, bro. Remember this time last year, my laptop died for Night 2.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, if your laptop died, then you can, always come on over. Come on over.
Bro, Night 1, I'll let you know if I can come on over in the morning to help you. Yeah, if not, we shall talk about it. Discord.
Bro, hang on.
Bro, what?
Tovukin just brought up something very interesting, right? Like, Rock needs to show up unless he's too busy with New Japan. What if the Porto scene is a New Japan Porto scene?
We shall see.
Can you imagine that the big reveal and he brings in all these New Japan wrestlers? Oh, no lah.
Too much, bro. Too much.
Okay, too much. We're thinking. And anyway, who would he bring in? Tanahashi? Come in and like hobble to the ring?
Tanahashi and Cena needs to have a match, bro. And they're just gonna stay each other. They can't do wrestling moves anymore. Oh my god. Okay, guys, please, if you're not on our Discord, you're missing out. Go join our Discord. Have all the stuff. We will react live on Discord. People are just chatting every day on the, and then we'll go live on a podcast, on a YouTube live stream. Please support us on Patreon. We would love your support there as well. Keep us the lights on. You can see my purple light is on because of the podcast support on Patreon as well. Let's talk WrestleMania on the day. And I hope you guys have a great WrestleMania week ahead, bro.
Absolutely. As always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Forrest in the building. Guys, thanks for joining us live.
Ooh.
See you guys.